done with esports, man.
No, man. I have to finish trash talk.
Excuse me, please. Excuse me.
Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Trash Talk. I am Richard Lewis, here once again. That was our little way of saying thank you to all the people that supported our Patreon. And me and Sam, we came up with that. We had to work over it for some time, but I think we hit the right note. I think we've said thank you in the ultimate way to all the people who are now supporting our videos. And of course, this now means that from September, Trash Talk will be happening twice a week. First Blood will be back. We'll be doing one interview a week with a player or esports celebrity. I can't remember what else we fucking passed, Sam.
First Blood.
Yeah.
Mailing list thing. One night of streaming.
Yeah. So in other words, I'm a busy boy, and of course, the more money we get, the more content we get.
And
the
I
less...
hate it here as well, if you didn't say
Oh,
that already.
fuck, yeah, we have to do that as well. New show. So, loads of content coming out, and obviously, the more money we get on the Patreon, the less I have to fucking worry about the day job, the more we can focus on doing this shit, the more we can keep Sam in, well, you're doing Atkins at the moment, aren't you?
No, keto, mate, keto.
Sorry, Kill Kids call it keto. I'm pretty sure Atkins is a keto diet, though.
Pretty sure your head's bald, mate. Doesn't change any facts.
Mate, I'm pretty sure it's too late for you anyway. You got the fucking heart the size of a fucking elephant's head,
Yeah,
and
it's got mad roids.
you're gonna die before you're 30. So I'll miss you. That's another reason why we pick Cool Running. I was gonna say that's another reason why we pick Cool Runnings, because Sam is gonna be the next John Candy. Anyway, so lots going on. Obviously, we're going to be doing a phone in today. We're going to talk about some esports. So I'll get all the headlines and all that bullshit out of the way. What's been going on since we last did a show? Well, not a huge amount. We didn't have anybody really call in about the Kingwin news, which is Kingwin are pulling back from esports sponsorships amid corporate restructuring. Funny thing about this, actually. Wait, I'm going to fucking read an email I got. I don't even give a fuck if this is professional or not. What the fuck? You guys can tell me what you think of this shit. So, obviously, I wrote this story about Kingwin, and, they're changing the way they do sponsorships, and they pulled out of all the teams, pretty much. Fnatic, TSM, Copenhagen Wolves, you name it. Anyway, I got this email from Kingwin, and I'll just read it to you. It was from someone called Pavel Rydzimski. And he said, "Dear Richard, to begin, I would like to thank you for taking your time to write about Kingwin. I would like to clarify a few things regarding your article. Kingwin pulls back from esports sponsorships amid corporate restructuring. Every company has an enduring mission. Our mission is to sell games in the best prices and support the esports culture. This mission is ambitious and at the core of what our customers deeply care about. We have a unique capability of harmonizing the needs of both individuals and organizations. This is in our DNA. Therefore, I would like to assure you that Kingwin will remain a key sponsor of esports. From the start, we've always strived to do more and to do important and meaningful things with the resources we have. However, we will need to innovate in new areas, execute our plans, make some tough choices in areas where things are not working, solving hard problems in a way that drives value to our customers while still being able to differentiate ourselves from our competitors. I will keep you and your readers up to date with our future plans." And then, goodbye. So I just sent him an email back basically saying, all due respect, that email says absolutely nothing and just reads like corporate bullshit. You haven't acknowledged or denied a single thing in the report, nor explained why you are scaling back or having talks to sell your Counter-Strike team. If you do want to inform our readers and indeed the community, let's actually inform them about something. Feel free to get in touch with me and I will print it. So that's the Kingwin story in a nutshell. I mean, that's one of the most bland and non-descriptive emails I think I've ever had after writing a story about a company. What else has been going on? Rocket League, it's happening. I'm going to become the Jonathan Pierce of Rocket League, whether the Rocket League community want it or not. And that's going to be awesome. It's going to be like Robot Wars all over again. It's now straight up there. It's Twitch's 5th highest watched game, I think, overall. Obviously, it's had, chart-topping sales, over 5 million copies. It's already put its first DLC out. And to be honest, it's fun. It's actually a fun esports game. Who knew they were possible? I fucking didn't. What else has been going on? We obviously had the big Dota 2 clusterfuck post the International. Absolute bloodbath. You had Cloud9. I don't think anyone on that team wanted to play with anyone else on that team. And it just sort of disintegrated. But of course, EG is the big story. Dropping. How do you even pronounce his name before I make a fool of myself, Sam?
Owie 2000. Owie?
Is it Owie?
I think it's Owie.
Like if you were a little kid, you went, "I have an Owie."
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Owie 2000, and he put up a great little Facebook post saying, "Just been kicked after winning the International. God, I hate people." So fair to say, I don't think that was fucking amicable. But yeah, this is what happens. This is another reason why all that glitters isn't gold. After the International, after the big money's been won, teams are sort of just thinking about how can we make it tolerable for the rest of the season. And these super teams, there'll be more roster swaps obviously ahead of the next International, but people just want a quiet life in the meantime, especially for a team that's won it and you fucking millionaires. So kind of feel a bit sorry for him. I mean, don't get me wrong. Think that roster swaps need to be the individual, the individual business of the team, the individual business of the management. But it does seem like he got the fucking shitty end of the stick. Anyway, Thorin's done an interview with him, which I'm looking forward to watching when that comes out. Not that this will interest many of you guys, but MLG is supporting this a Smite League, a Smite circuit for Xbox. Which that's big news, I guess, in a way, and in a way,
cut the fucking show. That's one because you like Bart. That is one reason that's made it.
Yeah. Well, there is that. Obviously, Hi-Res do pay me quite a lot. We had some American esports organizations dropping CSGO rosters. Again, not a big surprise here. The NA shuffle's been incoming. That was Elevate and Tempo Storm. And it looks like Hiko is one step closer to joining Team Liquid. Nitro kind of confirmed it today and then took it back immediately, saying nothing has been confirmed yet. I mean, I don't know. It's almost as if you just can't trust what organizations and players say about their own business. I don't know, Sam.
Nah, man. Hiko was never joining, but he doesn't even like money. Haven't you yet?
I've heard that. I've heard he's actually going to be giving his fee to charity.
Well, mate, I asked him as a friend, so you're obviously just a fucking lying cunt now, because he told me he doesn't even like money, and he's actually going to build a barn to just house all these just lost dogs.
Well, that's good to know.
And that's the only reason he was asking for more money. So don't you feel like a cunt?
Oh, well, mate, I always feel like a cunt. So, and that's been about it, really. I do seem to recall as well. Not that long ago, I talked about SK Gaming imploding on themselves and that N-rated was going to be kicked. Do people remember this? I didn't say it. And everyone was like, nah, that's not happening. Manager told me directly he will be playing the rest, the rest of the season. That's not up for debate, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Noxiac's in for relegations. So N-rated is out. So, yeah, what do you know? More organizations lying about bullshit. Anyway, we're going to get into those calls, the good stuff, the stuff you guys contribute to the show in just a bit. But you might remember last week, we said we wanted to fix the ESL 1 major in Cologne, right? We said we were going to do that, didn't we? And it was going to be tough. It's match fixing's not as easy as it looks.
You know Darren Brown.
Yeah, and I'm definitely no fucking Darren Brown. I might have slightly more hair than him, though. Maybe.
I think he shaved his head now. I think he looks.
I think you got to, really. You just got to, when you go in that bald. I'll tell you a funny story about Darren Brown, actually. It's completely unrelated to the show, but fuck it, it's become that kind of shit. Do you remember the News of the World? The newspaper? Yeah. Right, well, it's the one that basically hacked everyone's phones, including, I think, the parents of a dead kid.
Child, yeah.
Yeah, because they were just a great newspaper. And anyway, one of the headlines that really stuck out in my mind, because like for the last edition, after they went under, they did this like montage of all their biggest moments, all their biggest headlines. Well, I remember one, and it was when apparently Darren Brown had been proven to be gay. And do you know what the headline they ran was? No shit. Go on, have a guess.
I don't even want to say it.
Right, no,
it came to my idea was Darren likes Brown.
No, that's that. You're sick. It wasn't that. It just said Darren Brown. I'm a mind bender. For fucking real. That was in a newspaper. People bought it. I am a mind bender. There you go. Anyway, you can't honestly.
I can't be real.
No, that's fucking real. Google it. I'm pretty sure it was News of the World. News of the World's on the spot.
I am one of the two. Mind bender.
True story. Anyway, so we're not Darren Brown. We're not mind benders. And oh god, this show, what a mess. So anyway, we had to bring in some help. All right, we had to bring in some psychic help. We'll show you the woman that we contracted to do it. Now, you may remember from our favorite website, Fiverr.com, that's the place we found Light's ex-girlfriend, the place we found Spam Margera, Riot Games. There's all sorts of legends on there, and we've even got people lined up that you haven't seen yet. But we found somebody that was really credible, actually, and I'll let you bring it up on the screen. Her name is Blondie. Blondie is a psychic. And she's obviously very good because she has over 12,500 positive reviews and a 5-star rating, which to me shows that, I mean, first of all, she looks like David Bowie in Labyrinth.
She does.
Right? Which is that fuck. Do you remember how his codpiece just got bigger in each scene? That's psychic magic, that is. So she's obviously good. She's obviously fucking legitimate. And for $5, she will do a psychic reading. So anyway, we thought we can rig the major, right? We can rig the major by getting her to cast a Mayan spell. That was one of the services she offered. For an undisclosed amount, I think it was maybe $10, she would cast a Mayan spell to fix the outcome of anything your heart desired. So me and Sam got talking, and we think it would be perfect, for NiP to win this major. It would piss Thorin off. He'd have to shave his head. It's just so many good things. It's a fitting end to all of these legends. Obviously, love the guys. So let's get NiP to win a major. So we got in touch with her. Now, Sam handled all of the emails. Sam, can you show the message that we sent? Can I get a copy of it as well, so I can read it? You just send it to me on Skype.
I think I previously did. Hang on, let me do it again.
Yeah, I don't think you sent me that one. Yeah, I'm waiting.
I'm doing it.
Fucking hell.
The stream can read, but calm down.
Yeah, but I need to read it.
Well, you can't read. All you do is lie about things. Right, here we go.
Right. Thank you.
Definitely did already send it. It's in the chat, but that's enough.
All right, sound. Anyway, so as you can see, it says, and pay no attention to Sam's avatar. That's definitely not Travis.
No one even noticed what. Oh yeah, they did. People noticed. I was gonna say. Before we had slid past that, right?
He's a smooth one. So anyway, obviously, it says, "Hi Blondie, I want to utilize your powerful magic for the benefit of a group of friends. They're entering a competition, and if they do not win, they will have to retire. We do not want this, as we love them deeply. I know you may have some ethical questions about this, and I don't blame you, but I can't think of any other way in these dark times. The team in question is a Swedish Counter-Strike team called Ninjas in Pyjamas. They will be competing in a major event called ESL1 Cologne. It is my wish that your magic will give them the edge to win. I know very little about spells, and as such, I don't know what's appropriate. Either one powerful magical spell, or for you to astrally project yourself into their minds or the minds of their opponents. Only you can answer this, and I'm willing to pay for your services as appropriate. Please let me know how to proceed. Yours in good faith, definitely not Travis." The reply from Blondie is, "Hi Sam, hi darling." I mean,
she wants it.
Mate, she fucking wants the D. You should tell Travis, actually.
She's gagging for it. Seeing Travis's... Nah. I'm not even gonna
show me your magic wand. Right. So, hi darling. While there is never an absolute guarantee because of free will, we won't get into that. My clients have reported a very high level of success, and all tell me they feel they were better off with the ritual in place and without spiritual help on their side. It is highly recommended to select the custom ritual, which has been extremely successful for numerous clients, many who are famous, who are also very sincere in attaining their goals. I will send it to you in a moment. I'm here for you always. And then there's a rose. I presume it's a rose. It looks like a fucking skinny fleshlight, actually. But perfect for you.
One fit for Travis, mate. That's what she said.
Yeah. You look like the kind of guy who could use one of these. Nice
pencil flashlight.
Nice mustache. So anyway, we were like, now, how the fuck are we going to know if she cast a spell? Because, you know, we're not a bunch of amateurs, guys. We're not getting fucking duped by some fucking fake. That's not happening. Not on my watch. So we contacted her again and we said, you know, could we get a video of you casting the spell, or, you know, maybe a Skype call or whatever? She said, you know, that's absolutely out of the question. But what she would do is she would send us a highly customized PDF file, not to be confused with a pedophile. Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah, there's proof of that on screen, as you can see. Proof of that little exchange there. So we're like, okay, well, the PDF file is going to have to do. The PDF file will have to do. Right? But, you know, it's not ideal. Anyway, she charged us, what was it, $45?
$45, man.
$45. But I think we got value for money. I think when we bring up the spell, I think you guys will realize that we did get value for money. Sam, is the spell coming?
It's there.
Right, awesome. So the spell says, and this was to our stipulations, to be fair. This is exactly what we asked for. She said, "My precious friends, I've begun the first day of your rituals to begin today for 30 continuous days of casting 3 times per each day. We got the maximum magic.
So they could win more tournaments after this. Like,
yeah,
any in the next 30 days, easy money.
Yeah, easy money for them. Let's hope there's some more. But anyway, they're very powerful and extremely effective and powerful spell. So powerful.
Double power.
she said it was powerful twice. And of course, she's definitely not a dude. To attract success for your 3 wishes. First wish for Adam Freiberg, Christopher Allison, Patrick Lindbergh, Alexei, what the fuck? Jali, and Richard Landstrom to win ESL 1 Cologne. Second wish, any opponent of Team Ninjas in Pajamas will not be able to play well and make the win easy for NiP. Third wish, that the NiP magic will be as strong as this Mayan spell. Then, on top of that, we got to ask, because look, we all know Freiberg's having a tough time. We all know it's Freiberg that's having a tough time. So, we paid for an astrally projected visit to Freiberg. And she said that she's made an astral visit and remotely entered the mind of Adam Freiberg and placed these thoughts of influence. It is 2012 again, and you are at DreamHack Valencia of that year. You are the best entry fragger in the world. You can do this, and nobody can out-aim you. You will win. You will succeed with ease, and you are the best. I have also meditated to bring success to you, for your wishes to manifest, and for you to live the life of your dreams.
The thing is, I didn't even put in that last bit at when she went to Freiberg's brain. She added, "You will win, success." Like, she added that in, mate. She obviously hyped, like.
Yeah, she fucking knows. I bet
she's a NiP fan, but yeah,
she'll have bet some skins.
10 grand all in, but
yeah. So, you know, at this point, right, we're feeling pretty fucking good. I don't know about you, Sam, but I'm putting I'm putting my whole fucking inventory on NiP. 100%. And listen, guys, if you watch the show and you're a regular on the show, we urge you. You can't lose, all right? Get your skins. Get to CSGO Lounge or anyone else.
Yeah, we'll have to pool them. During this week or something, I'll get Richard to tweet out a trade offer link. And everyone who puts their skins in, I'll write them all down. And if we win, you get a share of how much you put into the total bet. So
yeah, that's what we'll do. So all of the people, get in touch with the mods in the channel. Get in touch with Sam. Adcall.trashtalk. Let's maximize this potential because we're gonna make a fucking fortune. And me and Sam, we've spent the Patreon. We're gonna go out to Cologne and we're gonna be there. And we're gonna film. We're gonna do a little documentary.
We spent like 3 times the Patreon money, mate. We spent like 3 months.
Don't tell them. We need more money.
We'll tell them. We'll come back with the skins, mate. So we'll make the profit back.
And the way I look at it is, it's just. Yeah, we're gonna make it all back. Now, I do have a little bit of a concern because being thorough, right? You remember what a big fuss that ESL made about drugs testing and adderall. So I had to contact ESL and say, what about your fucking psychic protections? Because we've got a witch, we've hired a witch, and we're gonna fix your tournament. So ESL didn't get back to me, and then they did. They actually did get back to me. And Sam will bring that up on screen now. And this is absolutely genuine, by the way.
100% real statement.
100% real. Honestly, no joke. This isn't like Light's girlfriend. This is real. Recently, a self-proclaimed witch came forth to announce that she has cast a spell to enhance the capabilities of NiP. Both ESL and our long-term partner, Valve Corporation, have a strong history of anti-magic. Valve Corporation have even gone as far as to dedicate an entire Dota hero's name and lore to be against magic. Seriously, have you considered how against magic Valve must be to call a hero anti-mage? When you have a hero that is literally called anti-mage, you know that they are not playing around. The integrity of competition is of paramount importance to league operations at ESL. That is why we have introduced new anti-magic policies to protect players, fans, and the general public against the dangers of this heresy. Prior to competition, all players will be tested for any form of mana supplements and through our partnership with the World Anti-Magic Agency, WAMA. We will equip all ESL referees with Black King bars, regarded as the highest form of anti-magic protection. While we regard most policies as an evolving process, our magic policy is simply non-negotiable. For magic. That's a genuine statement. Genuine statement from
people asking for the links. We were giving it to it private, and we would put it into this press release. It's not on the ESL website, but it is actually a legit statement from James Lampkin, Vice President ESL.
So, obviously, that does give me a few concerns. We're gonna take our camera out to Cologne, and we're gonna film it. We're gonna see these ESL anti-magic measures in place. I don't think they're gonna be enough. I've already got back in touch with Blondie and said there might be some counter magic in place. And, you know, we've asked her what sacrifices we need to make. We're hoping she doesn't say a human child. That isn't to say we're not willing to do.
We're not afraid to go to these lengths.
You know, we've got skins riding on this, guys. Let's think of the skins. So anyway, next week, for the next show, obviously we'll have been to Cologne. You're going to get to see where the Blondie comes in. And as I said, in the meantime, get your skins, come to us. We're going to make you all rich. Right, there we go. That's Blondie the psychic. Let's do a fucking call.
Let's switch back to the other scene in the intro music. Just went loud as fuck, so everyone just got their ears wrecked. Right then.
Now then.
Let me just see. There was a guy whose birthday it was. Let me find him. We love birthday boy. Right, Garion. It's Garian's birthday, and he wants to talk about why players are hurting themselves with their attitude towards journalists.
Ooh, a subject close to my heart. Hi, Garion. Can you hear me yet, brother?
Yeah, I can hear you well.
Awesome. Glad you're on the show, Garion. So you want to talk about how players' attitudes towards journalists are only hurting themselves long term. Tell me why you think that.
Well, the recent. Oh, sorry. I'm just fucking nervous.
Don't be nervous, dude. You're just talking to me. Fuck the stream. Those jackals. We've given them things to laugh at. They can laugh at Blondie for a bit. You can just talk to me.
Yes. I absolutely love Twitch chat. Just only love for you. I have. So
yeah, you just ignore that.
Recent events with Hiko actually make me wonder why players, undermining journalists that in the long run will help them, to get out of the bad organization, or maybe to deal with problems all the players have in the esports scene. How they don't realize that they are hurting themselves when they step out to defend their organization about some stuff they might even don't know, like with the Team Liquid and Hiko.
Well, look, I mean, so here's the thing. First of all, on the Hiko thing, there's this idea that's out there that I don't like Hiko or I have some sort of bias against him. I mean, obviously that's, not true. There's nothing that would substantiate that. In fact, actually, just before the iBuyPower players got banned, when it had become apparent Valve were going to get involved, I actually contacted Hiko privately on Skype. I called him up. I basically told him that shit was going down. And if he joins that team, chances are they're all going to get banned and he's going to fuck himself. And I said, at this point, the best thing you could probably do would be to try and go back to Cloud9. Just if that bridge isn't burned, get back there. Because, Jack, the Cloud9 owner, did want to build, he offered Hiko to build a second team that he would have fully funded. So I was like, well, the bridge can't be all that burned, right? But Hiko didn't want it for whatever reason. So that's why I've often found the argument that Hiko just wants to win things. There's a little bit, and that's why he left Cloud9. There's a bit more to it than that, because he could have built a team under the Cloud9 banner, chose not to. So he chose not to listen to that, and that was good advice that I was given to a guy that I have a lot of respect for. But since then, obviously, there's been a few stories that have come up that I've reported on, and he seems to think I have an agenda, and of course, I don't. Now, it's interesting you bring up this point, because I've seen this a lot in my career, to be honest with you, where you you have a very good relationship with a player, and you do interviews with them, and they're like, oh my God, that's super cool, great questions, everybody loves me, the interview went down a storm, thanks a lot for that. Or if they're having a tough time within an organization, they come to you and they're like, look, I haven't been paid in 6 months. And I go up there and I say, organization X isn't paying its players. And then they're like, oh, thanks a lot for that, Richard. I've been paid now because of the bad publicity. Then what happens? You have to write one bad thing or one thing they don't like. Just one thing out of the fucking dozens of other good things you've written, things that have actually helped them. That one thing is enough, and they cut you off, and they just tell you you're fucking scum, you're a dirtbag, you're dead to them, you've betrayed them. Like you owe them something. And of course you don't. You owe the public. That's who you serve, ultimately, when you're a journalist, for good or ill. And they really get angry about it. Like, this has happened to me so many fucking times. And then what you have to do is you have to try and just muddle through, knowing that they're going to be out there talking to their fans. And journalists don't have fans. I mean, I'm a bit of an anomaly. The average journalist in esports especially has no following. You see them. Sure. They've got like 50 Twitter fucking followers. And they're like, no, but it's true, please. And like the players are tweeting out to like tens of thousands. And you can't do anything. It becomes an echo chamber of bullshit against the journalist. Then, how the story always ends, I mean always, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, doesn't matter. The player always comes back to the journalist and is like, oh, there's this thing. I don't know what happened in the past, Can we squash the beef? And obviously as a journalist, you can't afford to have petty grudges, and you just fucking go back to square one. I'm going to show a video, actually. I'm going to get Sam to cue it up in a bit. But I will show a video after this that might exercise your point a little bit, Gary. And a Dota player called EternalEnvy had a few things to say about journalists, which I think the stream will be interested in. But I definitely agree with you. Here's the thing. I don't want to have a working relationship with players. I don't even necessarily know if it's appropriate to have any kind of relationship with players. But I wish they would understand what I have to do as a journalist. Like, I'll write 50 good things about you, and if I write one bad thing, come on. Like, you just got to be big enough to suck it up and deal with it.
Yeah, of course, because in the long run, they will get fucked by organization or some leak much more than, like, a bad story about them in the end.
Yeah, I mean, are there any other players you can think of that, is there anyone else that stands out in your mind? Because, you did say players, and obviously this has been going on for a long time. Hiko's not even the worst offender, actually.
Well, yeah, I didn't mean that Hiko assaulted journalist. I mean the player from Team Liquid. It was Nitro, I believe.
Yeah, yep.
Well, I meant him because, so in the end, it's just immaturity of the players. They don't know how to act, what will be in their best interests. So yeah. maybe some kind of, I don't know, manifesto will help with, I don't know. But esports scene, it's not that young that players won't see the trend of organizations and other big structures fucking them over and over again, and only journalists are there to help them mostly, in majority of the time.
The thing is, Gary, and there's okay, I've talked about this before on other shows, but just to keep it brief, because I don't like to repeat myself. There's a saying. I used to be a manager, and I used to do training courses and teach other managers how to be managers and how to, sort of work in an office. And there's this recurring thing called behavior breeds behavior. Behavior breeds behavior. If you act a certain way and you just embody that behavior, the people around you will end up following that example. But you've got to take responsibility for doing it first. And I think therein lies the problem. Like, I see a lot of managers, they just don't know the words no comment. That's all you have to fucking say. If a story's out there and you don't want to dignify it with a response, you say no comment. Problem is, our internet generation and these managers and all that in the esports world, they think no comment means yes. And they understand that actually a lot of people on forums will go, no comment does mean yes. So what they do is they come out and attack the journalist. I've had it a number of times. You know, Steve Arhan said at Team Liquid, even though we've buried the hatchet, he's probably gone on record and called me a liar, I think, twice. Both times, I think I've been exonerated and proven to be correct. And he, again, I'm not singling him out. He wouldn't be the first to do it. He won't be the last to do it. It's a recurring trend. And it just happens over and over again. So obviously a player, I mean, the hilarious thing is, and nobody even questioned this, how would Nitro know what salary Hiko was negotiating? Like, did anyone, hey, Nitro, Hiko's negotiating his salary. Do you want to come to this meeting? Like, of course not. He's not involved on a corporate level, on a commercial level. So, yeah, it's one of those things. Like, I have no idea why Nitro had to get involved there and come out and say it was all a fabrication. Obviously, it's not a fabrication. If I wanted to make everybody look really stupid, I could do it. But to do that would be to really fuck over a good source, and it's just not my style. So, yeah, it's fucked up. I mean, I honestly think the managers have to start doing it first, mate. I mean, that's the problem. Players, I don't even blame the players that much for doing it. I don't get angry about that. When managers do it, that's when I get pissed off. Maybe
it's enhancing, and when managers do that, players go out of their way to show some loyalty, I don't know, in their eyes, and to establish themselves in the organization that they are loyal, and they will go and say publicly what organization wants. Maybe there is that to it, but it is stupid either way.
So, I mean, just some final thoughts, Gary, because obviously with the Blondie bit at the start, we haven't got a lot of time for callers. But I mean, is there anything that you think we could do to sort of improve relations? And this is actually interesting because next month I have to go to California and I'm doing a 15-minute talk about esports journalism on this very topic. It's called, the working title for the presentation is called Fragile Alliance. How the esports press and esports organizations can work better together. So I'd be interested to get your thoughts. What do you think we could do to improve our positions?
Well, I already mentioned maybe some kind of public service announcement, a manifesto of journalists or something like that, some document that will help, maybe when they will read it, they will, some of them will realize it, and maybe with support of other players that recognize this problem, it can be slowly but gradually solved in the end. But it's like a slim chance. But if you don't try.
One of the things that I've always said would really stop this happening is if somebody just sued the living shit out of somebody else. Like, I've thought about doing it. Like, I get, because I'm represented by a talent agency now, I get free lawyers. Because obviously if my brand gets damaged, if my reputation gets damaged, I can go after the people that damage that brand, because ultimately it hurts their potential earnings. If no one wants to hire me because of something someone says, then that's 20% my agents aren't getting. So they're happy to, float me a lawyer or whatever. But I think that's also something that's got to happen and make the industry grow up. Like, to realize you can't just go on the internet and basically defame people and say, look, this guy's a liar, and then 2 days later go, whoops, my bad, what I meant was, you can't do it, because, well, especially for a journalist, that could be the career kiss of death. I mean, it's already happened with William Turton, great young journalist, a guy who's been profiled in all these, online magazines now, was a great League of Legends journalist, got shit on week in, week out for every story he ever published, organizations shitting on him, players shitting on him, other parties that will remain nameless were shitting on him, and he just quit. He just walked away. They literally drove him out of the scene. Now, that's unacceptable to me. Yeah, he's gone on to bigger and better things, but that might not have happened. And I think somebody, there needs to be, perhaps someone putting a firm foot down and teaching people that, there's certain things you can and can't say. But anyway, Garion, I've actually got a video that I'm going to play now, and it's EternalEnvy talking about journalists. But before you go, I just want to say thanks a lot for calling in. Never be nervous when you call in trash talk. For starters, your English is always going to be better than mine because I'm usually drunk. And second of all, we're all one big family here. We're all the bungled and the botched, so no one's judging you. And I hope you'll call in again sometime. Thanks a lot for a great call.
Thank you, Richard. And I'll hope we will all get rich from the skins Blondie will provide for us.
Mate, we're going to do it. Trust me. We'll all be retired next week. Peace. Look after yourself. Right then, Sam. Now, I have no idea how long this video is. So we're going to really have to play this by ear. But anyway, I got sent this ages ago. And I'm hoping the VOD is still there. But basically, EternalEnvy was answering some questions during a Twitch stream. And someone sent me this and said, have you seen what EternalEnvy is saying about journalists? Tell us what you think about it. So this is typical, actually. I did watch it. I didn't deem it worthy of my time to respond or write an article about. There's too much going on. But I'll let you guys watch it. And you can understand that this is the typical thought process of a player in esports about journalism as a whole.
It's journalism. I mean, journalism is like, honestly, like, I'm not sure if you're a journalist, but journalism is something I don't respect. Honestly, I feel like journalism is full of bullshit, and it's never true. I mean, it's never truly true. Like all these headlines and whatever, the things talked about in these journals, or I mean, in these articles, or it's just fake kind of, and I don't like journalism. And where is it in esports? I don't know, like, because in real life it's also bullshit, right? So I guess it's right there where it should be. There's a load of bullshit. Today, me and Fata had a street fight after ESL. Yeah, we actually had a huge fight after ESL. I actually got super angry.
So there you go. I mean, that was a VOD that got linked to me. It goes on at great length. You probably be able to find that VOD if you want to. But that's EternalEnvy. Now, EternalEnvy, you know, again, I don't always agree with things he says, but I do like the fact that he's happy to say them and is vocal and is honest. And, you know, I did want to make the point that actually, you know, guys like him, right, for example, he's saying he doesn't see the use of journalism. Well, this is the same guy who complained about conditions at Dota 2 events. And who in esports is going to actively highlight those problems? Unfortunately, everyone else is too concerned with making money. It ain't the tournament organizers. It ain't the organizations that pick up the players. The players themselves can't do it because they got the golden handcuffs on. So the only people that can talk about it is journalists, and journalists like me do talk about it. So I would strongly urge him, if he ever watches this VOD, which of course he won't, but if he ever did, to get in touch with a guy like me, and then we can make shit that he's concerned about public and try and change it for the better. That's where journalists can be a force for good. Anyway, that's just my thoughts, mate. So should we do another call?
Nah.
Have we even got another caller?
Yes, okay. Let me just... Okay. This guy wants to talk about... No, that's shit. Sorry, mate. Like,
no, what was it? Go on, what was it? Don't say his name, but what was the topic?
But he's just gonna know anyway, but...
Yeah, he'll know.
But just trust my judgment, but... It's not worth it. Alright, this guy wants to talk about new East Coast servers and how Riot are gonna fuck up the game with patch 5.16. Her name is Hugh Huyn. I think that's how you pronounce that now. Hywin? Hewin?
It's Hi Nawin, I think.
See if this cat answers the phone.
No, bro. Mr. Nguyen, can you hear me?
Is the cat here? Hello? Right, fuck him. Oh, he just picked up!
Oh, he just picked up! Call him back, quick!
Hello?
Oh, what's happening here?
Are you in a car, Mr. Nguyen?
I'm outside.
You're outside? Outside where?
Make the call. Sorry, I had to do something.
Yeah, he's had enough.
What was he doing? Did we call him in the middle of a crime?
I have to go.
Yeah, I have to do something. What are you doing? It sounded like he was running from the fucking police.
I'm just gonna answer trash talk. That's my cat, right? This guy, Arseny Lysenko, wants to talk about CSGO scene in general, why CSGO is small in Asia, and also wants to discuss what you mean by your retirement from esports.
Sounds good.
I have to go.
Hi there, Arseny.
Yo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. What up?
Hey, what up? Great, Mike. You're sounding pretty good.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome, of course. So let's. I'm surprised. So let's talk about it then. We'll do the retirement thing last.
All right.
So do the first part of the call.
All right, wait. Whoa, fuck me, dude. I forgot. Holy shit, I was talking to my girlfriend, so I forgot everything I was writing to. Wait.
Why
Right.
CSGO is small in Asia.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Richard
All right.
means about retiring.
All right, now, Richard.
Thanks, Sam.
I know you're pretty fucking good at, like, esports, and you know the basics and stuff like that. You know the inside information, you know? But anyway, so I wanted to talk to you about what, like, if you see, like, the CSGO scene, you know, you have like some Asian teams. You saw like My Revenge and stuff like that in some qualifying for the major or whatever. But it's like 4 teams or whatever. And like if you see the other games in Asia, like League of Legends or Dota 2, they're fucking huge, right?
Yeah.
So we have CSGO here, a new game, pretty damn good actually, to be honest. But there's no Asian teams. But what do you see is how do you see what is the problem behind it? Because what I feel is that there's nothing to play actually in Asia. Like if you see, like, wait, I'm like from Sweden. We have basic form. We have a Swedish championship. We have thousands of cups and stuff like that, like everything. Anyway, but in Asia, like let's say China or Japan or I don't know, South Korea, there's nothing like that. Now, what do you think should be done to make CSGO bigger in Asia?
Well, I mean, the simple reality is that games in Asia that generally take off are all free to play. And that's not to make any economic stereotypes, but that's part of it. But then also across Asia, the LAN cafe culture. Interestingly enough, I would say Sweden has a from my experience anyway, a decent LAN cafe culture. But even that is nothing compared to Asia, where and bizarrely, there's also other places like Kazakhstan, if you can believe it, which have just fucking huge LAN cafes that are filled to the brim with gamers that are playing. Things like Dota and League of Legends or whatever. So this is a huge thing because, first of all, when you've got, there was also another thing. Did you ever hear about this one of the reasons why PC gaming took off in Korea was because Korea and Japan have some like old fucking beef from like feudal times. So there's like some massive tax on Japanese imports.
What? Yeah. I think, but I know it. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was the only people who could afford Nintendo when Nintendo was big were super rich in Korea. So this is sort of like what happened in Korea was like a perfect storm. First, you have the fact that you've got this Japanese embargo tax. So Nintendo, at the time of its highest popularity, isn't coming through. Then you had a government that committed to creating super high-speed broadband throughout all of South Korea. Then on top of that, you had an economic crash. So right in that middle of all of this infrastructure building, the economy went out. To kickstart the economy, they told everybody, you need to start your own businesses. Now, a cheap business was because of the fucking broadband that was getting built everywhere for free, government fucking mandated, was PC bangs, LAN cafes. So you combine that with the fact that you can't have consoles, PC gaming took off in a big way, and all of that happened to coincide with the release of StarCraft, which is why StarCraft got so big. And of course, back then as well, everyone was cloning the copies of the game, so you could just put them on a bunch of PCs. That all of this helped proliferate it. Now in China, it's even more fucking complex. Like there's like a million fucking games, like free to play piece of shit games that rip off intellectual property from other games, because in China they don't give a fuck. They'll pirate anything. Like they just your intellectual property isn't. They don't care. What laws? What are you gonna do? Fuck
it's like Russia, my homeland, is the same fucking thing all over again. Yeah.
It's exactly right. So the the fucking so you've got that. Now this is another reason why they've got LAN cafe culture, but again, all of these shitty little free to play games, they really take off in a big way out there. So the only way I can really see CSGO having an impact in this sort of environment is it has to be free to play, and it also, I don't know if there's any way you can optimize it so it's a bit less PC intensive, because that was one of the reasons why, even though 1.6 technically wasn't free to play, it didn't do that bad out in China, and it didn't do that bad out in Korea.
Yeah.
That we had teams in 1.6 that competed from there, because
I know.
you could have a low level PC and actually play it.
Wait, wasn't it like a Japan like a team from Japan that played in 3OP LAN here in Sweden in Source?
Yeah, in 30p LAN, it was. They were called. They were called Integral, and they were the first Japanese team to come and compete in Europe. And that story was fucked up and quite sad, actually, because they came over, they played pretty well, they made a bunch of friends, and then they went back, and they were all from Tokyo, I think, and they went back just in time, from around that region, and I think they went back just in time for the Fukushima disaster and all that crazy shit happened. So that was unfortunate. But anyway. So that for me, if Valve really want to put CSGO into the Asian market, I mean, look, I understand the problem they're in. If you make it free to play across the board in every region, everyone starts crying about cheaters. I mean, people cry about cheaters anyway. And the reality is, people who are going to cheat are going to cheat. It doesn't matter if I've seen no evidence to suggest that having like a $15 fee for a game is going to stop somebody cheating on it. There's just no evidence to suggest that whatsoever. So the other option is, okay, well, we keep it buy only in Europe and America, and we make it free to play in Asia, in which case all of those pussies are going to complain and say, oh, why aren't we getting it free to play? So I don't know. It's really difficult, but for me, that's what you need. The way you get the infrastructure and the way you get the interest is you get it into those LAN cafes, and you get it so they can take it home and play it on a shitty PC at home if they're one of the few people that can actually, own a PC and dedicate their time to it or whatever. That's how it has to be. It's when you're having all these like licensing issues and the commercial games and it's just not going to work in that environment. It's completely different to what we're used to in the West.
But don't you think, like, even though, like, I get your point, but still, like, think about all the Asian players, like from Korea or China, whatever. They're playing like games that are pretty, how can you say, like quality based. You have to have a good PC to play them. Yeah. But not all of them actually, but. Anyway, and CSGO isn't that like graphical game like Call of Duty, Battlefield, motherfucker. I don't even know.
Yeah, but it's not particularly well optimized. That's the problem with it.
But what I mean is that if like Valve is trying to like invite some teams from Asia or making some like tournaments in Asia to get more people interested, fine. But still, there's no base to it. Like if I'm an Asian guy that wants to play and I want to build a team, where do I start? Nowhere. It's basically nowhere. It's nothing like, and that's the problem because there is no teams because of it, because no one wants to play. Okay, let's play matchmaking. All right, what the fuck is that? I mean, you have to have a base, some kind of system. Like, it doesn't have to be so like the final LAN tournaments and stuff like that. It just have to be something that they can build up. And I don't understand why people don't see it. Like, let's say there's so much. I don't know, companies around the Asia that is involved in gaming. But still, they're focusing on wrong things, to be honest, from my perspective.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, you might be right. You might be right. I mean, I know ESL. Okay, so ESL, they used to go out at China all the time.
Yeah.
You know, for 1.6, and you had IEMs out there, and obviously WCG used to do stuff out in China as well with 1.6, and that obviously creates the aspirational element, which makes people want to make teams, enter your local qualifiers, which were run. You know, and even ESWC managed for CSGO this time around to run a Chinese qualifier, and that was where I think it was a team called Kiyu or Quiyu. They got through and went out and, you know, didn't do particularly well, but I was interested to see how they get on. But I think you're right. You know, you have to have an infrastructure there. But if I was a betting man, I would probably say that ESL are going to run so many successful events. I think they're going to try a CSGO event in Asia, most likely China, where they have the partners and they have the knowledge and they know the venues, and IEM's been there many times. You know, you have to understand that it will be a massive cash sink for them, because I don't think the crowds will be out there. I think literally there'll be a bunch of people like just staring like, what the fuck is this? Like, you know,
Wasn't
like
it like in the fucking tournament? Holy shit, VCG or whatever. Like they had some like final against Fnatic or against the old VP.
Yeah, that was it. That was
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah,
there
yeah,
were
yeah.
people like, "What the fuck is this?" Like no
Yeah.
interest in the game at all. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, yeah, but literally, and I remember I talked to the players out there, and they were like, the fucking atmosphere was shit. Like you would win a mad hype round, like a 1v3 clutch, and there'd be no applause. Like they didn't even know what was going on. I mean, mind you, that's not to rain on fucking Asian audiences parades. Like I went to a CS:GO event in Europe, and I won't name which one, and a game finished 15-15, and it was like a map, you know, in a fucking series, and everyone got up and left. They didn't watch the overtime.
What the fuck?
They didn't even know the overtime was coming. So, you know, it's. I think as the game grows, you are going to have a largely ignorant audience. They know the game is cool. They know all the cool kids are watching it. They know it's popular. They don't know why. I saw this a lot with StarCraft. Like, literally, I was one of them. I'd go to StarCraft events, and it would just slack-jawed, gormless fucking retard. Just, do I clap now? Is this what's happening? Do I clap now? Is this? Oh, no. Sorry, no. There's another 40 minutes. You know, so Broodlord Infestor shit going on. So that was just how it was. Like, it was like they knew it was popular. They didn't really understand the game. They didn't know why. They just knew they had to be part of it and clap like fucking circus seals. That was it, man. That was just. So I hope ESL bite the fucking bullet and try and do a CSGO event in China. Yes, it could be a disaster. Yes, they'll get criticized. Yes, I could even be one of the guys going, God, that was a terrible event, right? But the reality is, like, I'd love to see them try, because I think that is the biggest untapped resource that we've got right now. And if we're ever going to topple that piece of shit League of Legends game from #1, right, this is what we have to do. We have to get into the Asian market. And the only way we're going to do that is through free to play and what you're talking about, which is, you know, it's what comes first, the chicken or the eggs, right? You got to give them the tournaments. You got to make the infrastructure. Yeah. You got to make people want to play the game. Like, there has to be a reward, a light at the end of the tunnel. So,
yep, that's true.
So the other thing you wanted to talk about was my retirement, wasn't it?
Yeah, like, all right, I have, to be honest, like, since I was like, how old I were? I don't know, like maybe 15, 14. I don't remember, dude. I was like hanging out in Cadred.org or whatever, writing topics and searching teams, you know, like
what was your username on Cadred?
Zerkin.
So you were called Zerkin on Cadred?
Yeah, no, or like Zerk or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Were you around in the Mad Lee era?
Lee.
Madly. He was like the crazy Russian guy on Cadred. He was the ultimate forum troll. Yeah. Great guy. I miss him dearly.
Anyway. But so then there was like this fucking tournament that Acer made. And I was like watching it, you know, and there was like talks about Rahim and you and whatever, dude. I didn't even get the fucking point or whatever. But what I was understanding is that to be honest, it was just the whole fucked up situation. And then I read on some like HTV or whatever, some forums that you're gonna retire. So wait, first question, is because of it? Because if like of that tournament that it started all, like you thought about your retirement?
Oh, right, yeah, the Ace of Predator Masters. Well, look, man, you know, it's not. Look, I'd already talked about getting out before that shit went down. I mean, that Raheem incident is like one of the most fucking. It's one of the most retarded examples of mob justice I think I've ever seen in my fucking life, and it just so happened to me. I think, you know, just so happened to happen to me. So I think if I was like looking out, if it was watching it happen to someone else, I would just think it was as equally retarded. So like, here's the thing: people say, "Oh, Richard Lewis created all this drama," and it's like, I'm doing a job, right? We do the last cast of the night. Everyone's tired. All the people have been staying up and building the fucking place. Loads of the casters have flown in. Guys like Henry have fucking jet lag. Nobody wants to do the last game of the day. Everyone's dying on their ass. So we get together a fucking skeleton crew of casters. We all sit on a sofa, and we know it's going to be bad. We obviously know it's going to be bad. There's no way you can take Johnny, who is a great player from Germany, real interesting character, sit him next to Raheem, and they've never casted with each other, never met each other, and it's going to work. There's just no fucking way. Raheem's used to solo casting. Then you add the fact that me and Henry are on the sofa, and we've been told specifically if there's ever any dead air or it gets awkward, you guys come in. So I was trying to encourage Raheem to do his fucking job that he was there to do. And for some reason, rather than just be like, oh yeah, this guy's encouraging me, he does the worst thing you can ever do. And that is that if you're depressed, you don't show it to the camera. You don't show it to the fans at home. If you're not having a good time, if you're not enjoying the cast, the amount of times, right, I've been doing events and you've just got a guy in your ear and it's fucked up or the sound production's fucked up. No one at home will ever know that. They'll never know which event it was. But there's been times that I've been to the fucking producer like, why haven't we had a fucking sound check? That's ridiculous. Nobody can hear each other talking. We get on with it. You cannot break the magic of the broadcast.
But
now,
what I don't get is that, like, when I watched the fucking tournament or whatever, I was like laughing my ass off the first time I opened the stream because it was so fucking like, you know, relaxing. It wasn't like I didn't even take the tournament seriously, to be honest, because you were like in the fucking sitting on a couch drinking beer, like kissing each other and shit. I was like, what the fuck is this? And they were like,
that's what Take wants. That's what
exactly. But then you have this problem where Raheem is the guy that I fought when I watched him in 1.6 even. That he's the guy. That is the best environment for him to do his thing, to be funny, to be fucking talking to people, whatever. But then this happened, and then when I was just like, what the fuck? Because if I don't even understand if the guy, I'm not on your side or his side, but that's my like opinion. And if this guy doesn't like, I don't even know how to say it, but if this guy cannot do a fucking tournament where you just like laughing around and shit like that, how the fuck are you gonna stream like and become a fucking caster or whatever? I don't ever understand it. Me myself, I can do a better fucking job.
This is the worst thing though. So right, I got accused of creating the drama. Now understand, I do that job and I'm like, right, good job guys. That last cast was a bit of a fucking struggle. We'll all do better tomorrow. Let's all just get some rest, yeah? Said that to Raheem, said that to Johnny, said that to Henry. I actually sat Henry down and told Henry, because he tweeted something during the cast, like, this is close to my idea of hell. And he meant because he was tired and the cast wasn't working. He wasn't singling anyone out, but I told him, don't tweet shit like that while there's a broadcast on. It's not good. So I even sat down and told Henry a little bit about the business, you know, like, don't do that. That's not very professional. Like, come on, we're all a team here, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So the only person I even came close to having a go at over the whole fucking weekend was my boy Henry, who I've known since he was a fucking 16-year-old boy, right? Anyway, I get back to the hotel, and I'm about to do my fucking post-event, de-stress, which involves a shower, a beer in bed, a joint, if you can get it, and a fucking wank and then sleep for 4 hours. And that's it, right? That's the esports dream in a nutshell. And I think, right, I'll just open my laptop in bed. I bet there's loads of positive threads about the show on Reddit. And I get there, and the top fucking thread is Richard Lewis bullying Raheem or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's already got like hundreds of fucking upvotes. And I'm like, I didn't ask for that. I didn't fucking solicit that. I didn't, how have I created that drama? That is the fucking imagination of someone else. And it's only possible because Raheem was sat, like, fucking being a fucking bitch about it.
It's because, like, wait, where did you read it?
Well, Reddit on the Global Offensive subreddit.
No.
And obviously, anything that's on Reddit that's bad about me is going to be on HLTV.
Yeah, exactly.
They still think I'm the guy that fucking killed 1.6 single-handedly over there.
And that's the point, because... Now, fuck me, I sound like a fucking dude on your side or whatever. But anyway, listen. The thing is that the ALHTV or Reddit, they're like a fucking, or especially ALHTV, they're fucking, the fan base of Raheem is like, I don't even know, dude. The thing is that the problem with everything, like the accident, like the problems players have when they do bad and stuff like that, is that the guy that creates a forum post or whatever, he doesn't know the inside information. And that's what pissing me off every fucking time. Because I don't give a fuck what happened or whatever, but no one should judge because they don't know shit. They cannot judge like, yeah, Raheem, like Richard is bullying Raheem, but they don't even know the story because they think about it. And then when you're trying to defend yourself, it's like,
well, that was the thing.
I'm not gonna believe
that
him.
was the thing, right, Arseni? That was where I fucked up. I keep forgetting we're not dealing with rational people here. So people accuse me of doing something I didn't do. I called them retards for doing that because you'd have to be retarded to do it. It's like me going up to a random guy on the street, you kidnapped Madeleine McCann. What do you think they're going to say to me? They're going to tell me, do you think they're going to politely go, well, I respect your opinion. Maybe I did. Of course they're fucking not. They're going to say, you're a fucking lunatic. Fuck off. Get the fuck out my face. Right? That's what they're going to say. So all these people were telling me, oh, you bullied Raheem. You did this. You fucking did that. You fucked up. You kill yourself. You're a waste of life. Crazy, heinous shit, right? Like, we hate bullies. You need to die. Like, people were saying, we'll come to the venue and we'll bully you. We'll break your fucking legs. All of this shit. Like, we're German fans of Raheem. It was unfucking believable. So obviously, I'm on Twitter just going fucking ham, just like, fuck you. You're a mong. You're what else am I gonna do? Like, but then I woke up the next day and all of a sudden, Henry had posted something, I think. And then it was like, okay. So Richard wasn't bullying Raheem, but look what he did on Twitter. So it's like, what the fuck? You can't just change it. You can't just shift where you're fucking pissed. You can't do it. You've got to be consistent in your outrage. You can't just be like, well, I was outraged about that one thing, but now I think I'm outraged about this thing because that thing's been proven to be bogus,
Dude, I'm on your side. Like at that, like a Twitter point that you just mentioned, I'm only because I'm like the guy. If someone takes like or like I don't know, like talking bullshit or whatever, dude, I will fucking destroy his ass by saying the fucking words that are coming out from my ass or whatever. Doesn't matter. The thing is, the thing is, what I'm trying to say. Listen. What I'm trying to say is that my fucking words, dude. Like the bad words coming from your ass. Like you get it. You get it. Anyway,
we've all of that, mate. We've all of that.
Yeah, exactly.
We've all
but anyway,
some words, mate.
Exactly. Anyway, the thing is that when this happened, it's like I don't even know. It's like I guess like here now I'm getting all into the social thing, but whatever. But in Sweden is like if you say something, that's what I don't like about Sweden at all, is that everyone takes everything to their fucking scars or whatever and make it to their fucking scars and live with it the rest of their life. Like if I say something like I don't like your face or I don't like you as a person, get the fuck out of there, they will fucking cry or be like do like I don't know, like killed herself or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing is that the people have to see more of I don't know, like back off of that shit and just see that everything is they don't know shit. They have to have the information first before they can write something. And if they write some bullshit, then they have to take some bullshit. It's so fucking simple. It's like, and the same thing, like I read on Reddit, then Raheem like comes in and posts like some fucking thread, and it's like he's crying when he's writing it. It's like, I feel bad for me, please. No,
oh yeah,
like,
don't even get me started on that shit. Like all the bleeding heart bullshit that goes on
like
social media.
But seriously, he's like, oh yeah, I can't. Yeah, I was reading Richard's. Oh my, no, I can't stay quiet anymore. Now listen to me. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna kill myself. Like, what the fuck? Take the fucking criticism or something. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but
it's like
this is the problem though, dude. You see, that was the other thing. Like, you know, I just came out and told the truth about what happened. Because why the fuck not? Like I say, I at this point I don't care. Like the worst thing, I got fucking guys pretending to be outside my fucking hotel when I'm at a StarCraft event, saying they're gonna fucking shoot me, right? And then when I say, okay, right, I'm reporting you to Twitter, and I've reported you to, because they were American, I reported you to the fucking FBI because they've got a fucking online crimes division. There's a thread about that saying Richard Lewis deserves death threats for reporting death threats. And I'm like, right, first of all, never reported anyone to the FBI. Like, the FBI have real shit to do. Like I'm actually going to do that. Like, I'm going to waste my fucking time. But how do I, can someone explain how I win? Because if I ignore them and block them, I see threads about, Richard Lewis blocked me. What a fucking, kill that faggot for blocking me. I hope he dies. Fuck it. So that's what I deal with for blocking people. If I say, look, you're a fucking moron and this is why, I'm unprofessional, right? Get Richard Lewis fired for being unprofessional. If I report them, I get fucking told, you know, you fucking... well, what are you doing that for? You shouldn't be doing that. You deserve all the threats you get.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you win the fucking argument anymore. And like what I'm willing to say at this point is, I'm just going to stick to the blocking one. It just creates less trouble, dude. It's just not worth it. Like, seriously, like the mob is wrong. The mob is always wrong, right? But you can't win. You can't win the fight. So you for your own mental health, you got to stop fighting.
If you don't win the fight, then say fuck you and then go on. It's like that's what I like when I heard about your retirement or whatever. That's what I thought, because I thought that you took so much of like bullshit that you're like, nah, you know what, dude, fuck it. If I were,
I am like that. I am.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm not trying to make you like change decisions or whatever. But what I'm saying is that just say fuck it to everyone and then go on, like, and keep doing on what you're doing.
Okay.
Esport.
I'm gonna. I mean, like between now and the end of the year, like you know, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I got a bunch of shit lined up. I'm gonna drop stories that are gonna scorch the fucking earth, Arseny, and you'll know. You remember I told you this, because one day you're gonna wake up and I'm gonna drop a CSGO story so fucking scandalous it's gonna blow everyone's minds and make me the most fucking hated and reviled person on the internet, and I can't wait for that. Actually, I'm looking forward to it, because everything that spurs me on to fucking get the fuck out. When I could have done so much more. I could have done so much more, and I stayed doing this. And honestly, I'm looking forward to a new challenge. I'm hoping that I'm gonna get some new opportunities real soon outside of esports. I've had some very promising interviews. Let's put it that way. So I don't give a fuck. Like, honestly, at this stage, I just don't give a fuck. That's why Trash Talk's become the show it has, because the safety's off. I don't care anymore. Like, if you want to... After the Raheem thing, what I realized was there's no point in even trying to be a good guy.
Yeah.
Because if people saw the reality about how I behaved backstage to everybody, and I do this at every event, how I mediate between all the talent, and hey, if you got everything you need. It wasn't like I wasn't going up to Raheem all the time. Hey, if you had something to eat, you had something to drink. Yeah, I was doing this shit. This is all verifiable. You know, like, even he couldn't say I didn't do this. You know, trying to include him in conversations. Hey, we're going to the pub. Do you want to come? Okay, cool. That's fine. Yeah. You know, like, this is what I do when I'm at an event. Anyone who's worked with me can vouch for the fact that when we're on at an event, I try and be the glue, because sometimes people don't get along and sometimes events suck. And you just got to get to the end. You know, like, one of the reasons I get picked up all the time, Duncan knows this. People think I'm the one guy that can, like, stop Thorin going crazy.
Yep.
People think that. Like, people are like, they come up to me and they go, oh, Thorin was a bit wild in that previous segment. Can you tell Duncan to calm it down? And I don't. I'm never getting hired again. I don't say anything. It's not my place. You hire Duncan, you get Duncan. You know, if you want Thorin, that's what you get. But everyone thinks, oh, you bring out the best in Thorin, you keep him on the right level. Don't do fucking shit. Duncan does that himself. But people come up to me, and that's the expectation. Now, keep in mind, I'm just another talent hire. I'm just another guy. You're hiring me. Like, if you want to control other people on the desk, that's up to the producers and the people who've hired us. But it always comes down to me, because I'm an old guy. I've got grey in my beard. Can you do this? Can you do that? You know, and I do it, and I don't complain, and I just fucking do it. But then I come home to have my fucking one wank, the most fun of an esports day, like, to fucking crack one off in a shitty, sad little plastic 4-mica hotel.
With Henry G watching.
In fact, right, I jerk off in the shower most times, so I can't tell that I'm crying when I'm at esports events. That's how fucking bad it is. And just before I go to sleep, that's the Reddit thread I read. So fuck this community. Fuck them. If you support that, if you support doing that to someone who's literally trying his fucking hardest to just entertain you, fuck them. I mean, who would stay in this business? You'd have to be insane. Anyway, so that's what I think about my retirement.
You got your point, yeah.
Do you have any final words?
Dude, like, I don't even know, dude. Oh, fuck me. I got so horny when you were talking about this fucking thing up here. Holy shit, dude.
Same thing happened to me.
Oh my god, dude.
Coming out your ass. I was just like,
oh my god.
Anyway, look. Sandy, it's a real pleasure to talk to you. Thanks a lot for calling in. All the best in Sweden. I know, look, you touched on a really good point. I'm going to do a video about it real soon, talking about the monoculture and you know, political correctness really has gone mad. And it pains me to say that as a liberal. But just look after yourself. I hope you call in again. I love you a bit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Have a nice day.
Take care. There we go. Fuck me. I think I actually triggered myself there. Can you self-trigger?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
You just saying self-trigger is triggered. Like saying the word self-trigger.
I don't know, man. Honestly, people think esports events are the shit. Like, people think Richard Lewis lucked out, right?
He's just rolling in hose and cocaine.
Can I? Behind me! This is how sad my life is. Really. See over there? In my... See?
There's bottles of beer.
Right? Now listen. Those bottles... I had a friend over, right? Friend I've known for fucking years, right? Like, known this guy all my meaningful part of my life, right? Right, I don't know if any of you guys at home have the friend who's good at the one thing you care about the most. Do you know what I mean? Like, so let's say, I don't know, you want to be a footballer and you've got one friend and he's just so much better than you at football, but you like him, and it's just a constant reminder of your own failure, you know? Like, it's there, it just fucking, but I love him, he's my friend, but God, I wish you didn't have to watch him play football, it's so bad. So I know this guy, he's my best friend in the world, and he's such a good writer, dude. Like, we were doing poetry slams together and shit, and when I was doing stand-up, he used to come along and he'd get up and do, like, funny poems, and we used to get drunk and fucked up. We went to university together. I actually met him when I was having some turf beef with some other fucking wannabe dealers.
Some turf beef?
beef thing, whatever.
Straight out of Birmingham.
Obviously in Wales, man. So like these fucking 3 guys jumped me, and we had this creative writing class, and he didn't need to get involved. That was the only class we had together. I didn't even know him, but he just waded in and started paneling people in the fucking face. Like he just saw me getting jumped, so I was like, right, you're cool. And then we became best buddies, and now we're old men with grey beards and bald heads, and we're old fat. Anyway, this guy just got a fucking book deal. So those bottles over there that I can't bring myself to fucking tidy up is from when we celebrated him getting a book deal. There's 2 empty glasses of whiskey right there. That's me and him. Right? That's what I could have been doing. Yeah? But no, do you know what I do? I sleep in travel lodges on a weekend. I sleep in travel lodges on a fucking weekend listening to fucking couples that aren't even couples having sex through the walls. Hurt me. Having the worst sex ever because I'm doing an eSports event, and the only thing I can look forward to, apart from stroking one out in tandem to the people next door and pretending I didn't and then feeling fucking disgusting, is going to the event the next day and thinking, right, well, at least I'll put on a good show for everyone. I'll put on a good show. That's entertainment. That's entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. And you do it, and you get to the end, and you think, I'm just going to look at Reddit, or I'm just going to look on Twitter. Someone somewhere will have enjoyed what I did. Right? No. Do they enjoy what you did? Nah, they don't enjoy what you did. They fucking hate every minute of it. They fucking hate every second of it. And they can't even explain why. Something, weren't you banned from the league subreddit? Something, didn't you call someone a retard on Twitter? Something, didn't 10 years ago, didn't Richard Lewis one time do something? This is the bullshit you deal with that prevents you even enjoying the... Yeah. So... You know, what's going through my fucking head? And people are going, oh, Richard, you're going to retire from eSports? Better question, why haven't I retired from eSports, you dumb motherfuckers? I must have a disease, Sam.
Well, yeah.
Obviously. The Cool Runnings video was good, though.
Yeah, it was worth it. It made it all worth it in some ways, man.
And this is why the Patreon is important. I nearly called it Patreon again. I still think that sounds way cool.
You do you, mate. Call it what you want.
Right, thank you. That's why the Patreon's so important. Because then I can fucking just detach. I can talk about esports, but not be in esports, you see. One of the worst parts about being a journalist is there's all these fucking rules about how you're supposed to behave and And I don't just mean in writing. Like, people actually say to me, well, I don't think any serious journalist would ever insult anyone on Twitter. Are you fucking serious? How are the two in any way linked? There isn't a module you do in your journalism degree about how to handle microaggressions on Twitter. It doesn't happen. But that's the shit you have to put up with. If I just quit all of that and become a fucking entertainer, I could jerk off on fucking stream, right? You know, just do whatever I want. Like, today, me and Sam have decided to see who can make the best sculpture of each other out of our own feces. And that's not rules. What are you going to do?
We can find someone on Fiverr to do it.
Actually, you get on that right away. Who are you going to fucking find, right? Where's the complaints? Yeah, how does that work? Which boss are you going to write to? You're paying me to make a picture of Sam out of my own shit. You're paying me. That's why the Patreon's important. That's why it's got to be important.
I don't know how down with that Twitch would be, but if they say no, we'll just have to move on to YouTube or something, won't we?
Actually, man, I live in England. I don't know if you've heard of it. We had an exhibition, and there was a guy who painted paintings with his own poo. And he did one of the Queen. It was really controversial. People were trying to say whether it, was fucking constituted.
I am the shit Queen.
No, treason.
Grow up, innit?
But he did an interview and he was like, if I need red, I eat tomatoes and. It's true. I'm not even making it again. You can go. Yeah, so he changed his own shit to, it took him ages to do a paint. Because he had to, oh, fuck, right?
Where was he even doing it? Where was the paint in? Was it in his room? Was it hey, just throwing it at a wall?
No, mate. Oil painting, you don't just Jackson Pollock, is he? It's fucking, you do it in a thing. And
you do it in a thing.
Yeah, and you put it on with a fucking thing, like.
Oh, the thing in the thing, like. No, I know.
Yeah, science. No, you take the brush and, you put
it in your tin of shit.
And he when he needed purple for the vellum around the crown or whatever, he had beetroot, and
should have had Beetlejuice instead.
I guess what I'm saying is, if that's allowed, right, in an art gallery, then Twitch are just gonna have to deal with the fucking day I totally snap and just say, Sam, I have made a sculpture of your face out of my own turds. They're just gonna have to deal with it. They're just gonna have to deal with it, man. But anyway, let's get another call. But I need another beer. I'm definitely.
Hang on. How many more calls are we gonna do? Are we gonna do 2? We have to do minimum 2. That's the reason. I'll tell you when you come back.
All right, let me get a couple of beers on.
The reason we're gonna do minimum 2 is because there is a guy. After hearing our show, he went and tested what it's like to be on Adderall and play CS. So he got a group of friends together. They all took some mad Adderall and played CSGO in the name of trash talk. And he wants to talk about how he thinks it affected his gameplay after that. And also we're going to bring on our resident drug expert, Thomas Swaggerty.
Oh yeah, I want the drug guy on again.
Yeah, well, first, alright, I have to explain this to you. After hearing our show, I think, this guy, when we were talking about Adderall, he got a group of friends together. They all took Adderall, and they all played CS to see what the effects are actually like.
Right, bring him on right now.
In the name of trash talk. So here he is.
I know. Who the fuck bought this?
You?
No. This was one of the guys.
Oh, is that the alcohol-free one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
what?
I've had.
He did this in my house.
I've done that before. It's an accident, but because the other one looks exactly the same.
Nanny fucking state. Alcohol. I'm fucking outraged. Hang on, I've got bring him on, but I can't even believe that.
I'll just wait for you to come back, but.
No, but I can't believe it's in my house, Sam. Nanny.
It happens, mate. I've done it before as well. I took him back.
No, but does that mean what? Someone came to my fucking celebration party and was like, "Oh, I'm so drunk, Richard." Who the fuck's done that? I haven't seen anyone pull that shit since I was fucking like 14. Yeah, I'm drinking these calibers, mate. The ones Billy Connolly drinks. Strong as fuck. Is that fucking real? Right. Smashing this off a wall. Figure out that.
Hurry up, man. Right, oh, as if there's someone in fucking chat called Coco Shunter. What a legend. Not sure if you know what you being a Coco Shunter means, mate. But if you want to be called Coco Shunter, you can live your life. Let's bring in Vincent now. Bring in Sin, your drug tester.
Unacceptable.
Right, bringing in our very own drug tester.
Hello?
Hello. How are you doing?
Right. I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. It's good to get you back on the show.
Back, first time.
Oh, shit. Sorry, Sam's queued up the calls in the wrong order.
Well, this is the right order. This is the right order.
Yeah, I'm the Adderall guy.
Right, okay, so let's fucking talk about it.
Dickhead!
Sorry, mate, sorry. I thought we were doing them the other way around. So, Adderall, right?
Yeah.
Is meant to be this big fucking performance-enhancing drug. It's meant to make Counter-Strike next level. It's like really when you smoke fucking DMT and you just fire it out with a cannon and you go through the fucking astral gates of colours and shapes, and at the end, you meet the blue people who tell you there is no such thing as time and all human life is worthless. So
maybe if you do enough, yeah.
You do.
I'll try.
Do. So tell me about Adderall and CSGO. Is it as good as what they say it is?
It does literally nothing. Well, I wouldn't say literally nothing. All depends on the person. But me and my friends, we saw it and we wanted to try it. So I had Adderall. I went to the doctor and I explained it to him. And he was interested, so he gave me placebos, like sugar pills.
You explained it to him that you saw that Adderall helps Counter-Strike players and you want to try it, and he gave them to you.
All in the name of
he gave you a
science.
sugar
All
pill,
in the
okay.
name
Can
of
I
science.
can I get your doctor? Because
Where do you live?
Belgium.
Fucking hell.
I'm not even necessarily gonna.
Where there are no
Anyway,
laws.
So you got the Adderall legally
no
through
governments.
a prescription.
No, he said he gave him a placebo and sugar pill.
I have a prescription for myself for studying. So I gave a bunch, some of my friends like half placebos and half the actual Adderall, and like saw their performance. And overall, the placebo and the Adderall was all the same. It made no difference. It was all the mental thing. Also tried it myself, being very skeptical of it. And for me, there was barely a difference. Sure, I can hold an angle maybe a tiny bit longer, but not longer than 2 seconds. Like, overall, it's not a huge difference. Not enough that has to be tested.
Tell me what's going on physiologically, right? Because obviously, for those that don't know, Adderall is an amphetamine. So I mean, are you rushing your tits off?
No. It's more like your brain gets a bit clearer. You can focus in more. You know, when there's like you hear 4 people come around the corner and you have an AWP and you focus in, you want to kill all 4, holding angle after angle, stuff like that. It improves that a tiny bit. Because you're more in the game. You don't see your screen, you're more in the game, if you know what I mean.
Well, so I mean, first of all, can you clarify how much did you do? Like, how much of a dose did you do? That's always
pill.
important.
We did it
So it's
on.
one pill.
We did it on. We did it 3 different times actually. One was 2, 1 pill. One was 1.5, and one was 2. So we did different doses, and 2 gave the most effect, but it also gave some bad side effects where they played worse in certain situations. And like in 1 versus X situations, they just shit the bed completely. Because then you get hyped up.
So talk me through your thought process then. I mean, what's happening when you're on you know, this again, it is essentially an amphetamine. So you're on it. You're saying it improved your concentration in terms of holding angles, but what about when you need to push, you need to be aggressive? What's happening with your thought process? Like, were you struggling to watch a mini map, realize where people were? What was going on?
Let's say I'm on CT side and I want to push long as a CT, obviously. I have an M4. I want to push, so I look my minimap, I see nobody. I see maybe like one guy at B that just died for no reason, and they're calling all B, which is never the case. There's always a guy behind.
That is true.
So you're thinking about way too many things at that point. I have to look behind me, look left, look right, and you all want to do them at the same time. So you do a half in between and you fail. That's the most common thing I had myself.
So what? Like you're saying you were caught in 2 minds?
Yeah. Like it was like my brain non-Adderall saying no, calm, and my brain on Adderall was like do stuff now, everything quick. Like it was not the desired effect a lot of people would want from it.
Well, yeah, it's interesting actually because that's not entirely dissimilar to I think what Semphis was saying, that he didn't like it and it didn't work for him, and I've heard other players say as well that it made them really like jittery and
your aim
uncertain.
It doesn't improve your aim one bit. If it does something, it makes it worse because you want to flick more, so you miss the easy shots, stuff like that.
Okay. Here's a question for you though, right? Because look, I've got to be honest. Like some people in the chat are saying, I got to call you out and say you're bullshitting and you're lying. Right now, here's the thing. I don't shy away from confrontation, but I've never done Adderall.
Yeah,
that's my problem. So like, I've done fucking speed, and I did Dexedrine. If I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. It's like this is what I hate, right? Because it's like you have to talk about.
Did you also do Quaaludes?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it's fucked up, right? It just makes you sound old. But like Dexy's Midnight Runners, nobody even knows who they are. But anyway, there was a band. Back in the day, bands used to write songs, all right, and they used to release them on a thing called records, and they were physical objects that you could buy. They didn't release them on MP3s. They were real. You could own them. They weren't just sound waves on the internet. So Dexy's Midnight Runners were a band. They did a song called "Come On Eileen," which I've never really understood. There's been a million porn parodies of that song. It was an unfortunately titled song in many ways. But the point is, Dexedrine is like pharmaceutical speed. We used to do that all the time. All the time. Now, for me, I used to... I don't know, like, it just feels that if Adderall is akin to a pharmaceutical speed that I've taken, you're sort of downplaying it, because when I used to do it, man, and I did Ethedrine a lot as well. You know, the fucking... what's going on in your head is fucking... You know, it's pretty intense. Like, I was you know, you're rushing and initially, and then you sort of plateau out, and you sort of find a zone where... You know, you can push past anything that sort of damages and deranges the senses. So to give you an example, when you're on really, really good speed, you can just drink alcohol and it just doesn't touch you. It just doesn't fucking touch you. So I know, like, this is why I think people are saying that what you're saying could be BS. Is there any chance you got a placebo by accident, dude?
That could be. Could be, but I got it from my... I don't know how to say it in English, because it's obviously not my native language.
Back up Vincent, though, our drug expert, Thomas Swaggerty, says everything he's saying sounds legit and it matches up with what he's experienced and studies.
Yeah, it all depends on the dose. If you take too much, it's like speed, is what I've heard. But if you take, like, one pill, you're more calm.
Yeah, well, I mean, that could well be true. I mean, to be fair as well, I got to be honest. I don't do small doses of drugs. Like, I've never...
All in, baby.
No, but that's it, right? Like, if you're gonna do a drug, like, do a fucking drug, you know? So, I mean, I'm definitely not the guy to talk to.
Also, what people have to realize is this is a really small sample size. 3 times with, like, 7 friends isn't enough to, like, make a solid conclusion. We'd have to do way more testing, and I'm just not willing to pay for that, so...
I don't... Is this against Twitch terms, Sam, if I offer to pay for his drugs?
Yeah.
It is. Okay, so...
After the show, we definitely won't message you.
Yeah. I'm a scientist, man. You know?
Science. Everything for science.
Everything for science. Let's... And
I'm towards Thomas can help you with the source.
Yeah,
this guy never worked.
We'll definitely talk more about this, Vincent. But bottom line... Did you didn't consider it a performance-enhancing drug?
1 pill, slightly, very slightly, but anything more was more degrading than anything else.
Okay, all right. Sam, did Thomas want to come on?
Yeah, he does. He wants to.
Right, let's get Thomas on. Vincent, we love you. Just as a disclaimer, Trash Talk does not advocate doing drugs that are either illegal or not.
Don't know. I only do what I want,
just the good ones.
Don't worry.
But it's
which is everything.
It's not for you, Vincent. It's not for you. It's for the police watching right now. So we don't advocate doing drugs that are prescribed by a trained medical professional. And the things that we're saying in this show right now, for the purposes of comedy, I think we're safe, Vincent. I think we're okay. So you get out of here. We'll bring Thomas.
McAllen's watching. Watch out.
You got to watch out, mate. Thanks a lot for doing the thing that we didn't want you to do. Drugs. Cool. Love you, Vincent. All right, let's get Thomas in here, man. Let's get Thomas in here.
Now we have Thomas, and as I said, he thinks that guy is legit, and everything he says measures up with what his experience is.
Heidi-ho.
Here he is, Thomas, my man.
Our resident drug expert.
Yeah. And I gotta say, it's great to speak to you so soon. I'm glad this drug thing is rolling on and sort of giving us an opportunity to talk. So there's a chap who is a sub and a guy I respect a lot called Dirk Smallwood. He was saying that guy is full of shit, but you're saying actually what he said is consistent with your experiences. And of course, you're the original guy that came on to tell us about Adderall usage in the first place.
Okay, so your last caller was super interesting. Like the study that he did, the specific explanation of like being in 2 minds and then typically picking the wrong decision. I have a specific study about just that. So the Center of Neuroscience Research in Ludwigshafen, Germany, did a study on mice. Now you'll need to remember like this specific test in a future substance that I talk about. But basically what they did was they had the mouse, I don't think they did it for this one, but in the next study they have the mice pick a difficulty for the test and then actually do a test. So it has a little grid of holes that it can poke its nose through, and it should only poke its nose through when it sees a light. Now, when they gave these mice amphetamine, actually, let's start with that. You've had Adderall before. Adderall is a mixture of amphetamine and dextroamphetamine. So it's
really?
those two drugs combined. Yeah.
But I don't know if I've ever done them at the same time.
It doesn't matter as much.
Yeah. Physiologically, would it not make much of a difference?
Basically, they're both norepinephrine and dopamine releasers. The difference between the drugs is just the ratio of the two. Dextroamphetamine is a little bit more of the norepinephrine, but it's not enough to matter that much. So your experiences are very much applicable here.
Right, that's good. That's good. And
So
as I said, Thomas, my experiences were pretty much that. What happened was, like, once I got past the rushing, sometimes what we used to call a cheeky spew. You know, you would rush so much it was like an adrenaline rush. You'd be sick a little bit. But generally, what would happen is you would have this intense, heart palpitations, sweats, like, coming up really hard, and then you would plateau out, and you could just do stuff like alcohol actually just fuck you up and put you under the table, but you could just drink and drink and drink and still sort of maintain a really nice level of focus, nice level of coordination. Someone knocks a drink off a table because they're drunk. You're the guy catching it and looking super cool because you took Dexedrine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and what that is action without thought. That's impulsivity. That's what that really quick reaction is. And with these mice, they had that faster reaction while on amphetamine, but they also had a higher instance of just sticking their nose in a hole without there actually being a stimulus. So they were really prone to like going off when there was nothing there.
Awesome.
I think that's like what he's talking about, seeing 2 or 3 decisions and just making one of them, and it's probably the wrong one because there was no thought behind it. And I think that's like one of the negative ways that Adderall could affect you.
So, I mean, have you, right, I'm guessing this might be presumptuous on my part, I apologize if I'm wrong, but you will have done perhaps some suitably large doses of amphetamine.
You can assume that I've done all the things.
Good, excellent, thanks. I thought so. So, can you imagine a way that this would again impact on the esports thing? Because what I was super intrigued about was last time you came on, we ended up talking about nootropics and how you felt they would eventually, once they got developed and were a bit more potent and effective, they would go on to be sort of the drug of choice for esports competitors. And of course, they're not even on anyone's radar yet. But my experience would be like, I don't know, if I wanted to play games, I really don't think, based on my experiences with amphetamine, I would want to take amphetamine.
Yeah, I actually have a second study that I have lined up here. This was from the University of Pennsylvania. And what they did was they had 16 people. They gave some Adderall, some not. And what it was 2 different types of thinking. So one type of thinking was convergent thought, and the other was divergent thought. So convergent thought is you have like 5 factors and you need to pick A or B. Divergent thought would be, here's 5 factors, you need to pick between A and potato and Africa and yellow and the number 7. Yeah. Like it's the outside of the box thinking.
Okay.
In divergent thought, 0 change. Adderall didn't do anything at all. I found that interesting. I thought there was actually a negative there. I believe I said something to that effect last time I was here, but it just didn't change anything. With convergent thought, so that means actually picking the right answer with known facts and like known variables. In the low-performing people, there was one dude who got better. So like, meh, it kind of helped a little bit. In high-performing individuals, people who were already good at the test, it made them worse. So that's not good.
And these are scientific studies. I mean, obviously you've named the studies, but if before we end the call, if you could sort of link them to Sam, I think when we put the VOD out, we'll include these studies. I think this is important because, you know, look, there's a serious lack of science around esports for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is the big thing. We're trying to compare it to real sports, and I don't think it can be. I think it needs its own studies. It's like all of this stuff that came out today about, you know, how computer games and violence, and, you know, actual scientists are now coming out going, hang on, guys, there really isn't a body of evidence for you to invoke on this particular issue, and until there is, you shouldn't mislead people. And I think that's brilliant. And that's what we also need to be doing in esports. The idea that adderall is a performance-enhancing drug, I don't think that's been proven. And until it's proven, I don't even want to label it as such.
Well, here's the caveat that I put. Like, Hellraisers in the tournament you recently cast, they had been awake for how long? Maybe like 12, 14 hours at the start of their game.
Yeah, they even kept saying, like, when every time there was a pause, they were saying, "We're really tired. Can we not do this?"
Yeah, so, at that point, they're no longer high-performing individuals. Like, at that point, they are a low-performing individual. I'd say before going into that game, fuck it, do a bump of coke. Like, don't do a whole bunch, but just do something to, like, increase the novelty of what you're doing that's in front of you, to keep that alertness and to keep awake and to actually help you. I think in those situations, it could actually help.
Okay. All right. Thomas, do you have anything else to add? Because I always love talking to you. I want to find excuses to talk to you.
I actually have a list. It's 5 drugs I think should be prohibited in esports if you were going to do that. And the drugs that are on the list kind of make like a preachy point of why that's ridiculous. So it started off with adderall. I had those studies there. The next one I have... Okay, this would be the bombshell. This is the one that will not be banned, even though there's proven results that it is cognitively enhancing. Caffeine. You could not ban caffeine if you tried in esports.
If you banned caffeine, probably about 50% of all the money in esports would disappear overnight, because there's so many energy drink sponsors that it wouldn't happen even if I put it this way, if WADA came out tomorrow and said caffeine's now a fucking performance enhancing drug that's on the ban list, you can't drink coffee if you're a professional athlete, trust me, ESL wouldn't be adopting that fucking policy, because how the fuck do you have Monster or Red Bull or anyone else at an esports event from that point onwards? So it would never happen.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Caffeine has a massive body of research behind it, and it's one of like the most proven drugs to actually be cognitively enhancing.
Yeah.
So I have a study here from Swinburne University in Australia. They had 150 adults, which they gave either just sugar water or sugar water with caffeine. I chose this specific study because of the sugar in the water, because haha, energy drinks. Let's see. And the results were that they did like multitasking tests, and they were all better. Like they all performed better in these multitasking tests, which you could see very applicable to esports.
Yeah, well, yeah. So that would be, where would that be on your list of 5? How high up are we doing it in order, or?
The thing with caffeine is that there's such a low profile of adverse effects, and that it's so easy to get and so cheap and everyone likes it, that I'd put it at the top of the list. And there's the most research behind it as well. Not only for like mental performance, but also physical performance. It makes it so you don't get prostate cancer. It helps reduce risk of Alzheimer's. Caffeine is just pretty much wonderful. So like I'd put it at the top.
Okay.
Next I have on the list, PRL-8-53.
See, I love it when you talk scientific. I don't know if you ever used to watch the old Warner Brothers cartoons. there was a little Martian dude who used to have like a Roman helmet, and he used to fuck with Bugs Bunny all the time. And he would always call his weapons like the P-38 psionic modulator. And when you do the fucking letters and the numbers, it gets my dick hard for nostalgia. So,
well, if you like nostalgia, do you remember the 80s?
Well, kinda.
Okay, there was a Chicago new wave band called Fill in the Blanks who made a song about this compound.
Ooh,
it was called PRL 853. Sam can find it on YouTube if he would like to do that.
I will do.
There's only one study about this drug. It was from 1978. It increased, let's see, slight improvement in like acquisition of numbers and stuff. It just helped people like remember things a little bit better. The only reason why I put on this list is because there's literally only one study about it, but lots of people in the nootropic community are taking it. In fact, I'm on it right now. So I just thought,
hey, if you're on it right now, then it's definitely working. So it gets 2 thumbs up from me. How if I wanted to obtain some, how would I be able to do it?
What is like the legal side? Because it's a research chemical, right?
No, research chemicals get you high. Like there's specific laws. There's specific laws for supplements, so drugs that are just beneficial in some nebulous way, and drugs that are actually trying to be recreational and be somewhat similar to actual banned substances. Most research chemicals are just like an amphetamine with fluorine atom attached to the end, and it's like, hey, this isn't illegal now, right, guys? Even though it still does the exact same thing. So
I mean,
yeah, we
went through all of that in the UK, and one of the saddest days in my life is when there's a drug called methadone, which I will assume you have tried it.
Yeah, shit.
And I absolutely love that fucking drug, dude. I mean, you know, it was legal. I could go down. We have these head shops in the UK called Zen, like Zen, right? And lame fucking name for them. And you could buy it, like it was super overpriced, but you could buy it for £40 a gram legally, which, you know, I could get cocaine and very good cocaine a lot cheaper if I wanted to buy it on the black market. But this shit was legal.
It was like $5 a gram online, by the way.
Yeah, I know. But then you have that disappointing moment where you do that line, and you're like, okay, it burns the same. It burns. Where's the high? And like you just spend the rest of the night wondering what you put in your body. So
that's because it was mixed with like 90% caffeine powder, maybe 10%
exactly. So that's why I don't buy online. At least Zen was a known quantity, so we used to go down there. And they used to sell it in these little AK-47 baggies, £40 a gram. And I remember when, I think fucking shit, man, it might have been David Cameron himself. But there was a big thing about it, like, oh, research drugs. Oh, we don't know what they're going to do to you. Well, all right, well, we're your fucking human studies, motherfuckers. Don't ban it. We'll tell you. Like, but anyway, I used to love that shit. Like, the next day, yeah, it's horrible. The next day was bad. Sweats. Palpitations.
Yeah, the special thing about methadone was that it had like a serotogenic quality to it. So a little bit like MDMA, not all the way as strong as it, but yeah, I really like that stuff. That and MDPV.
Yeah.
I miss those.
Mate, tell me about it, right? I used to fucking, that was like a big part of my fucking weekend. Like when I had my first cardiac episode, that was pretty much why. So the fucking literally, I'm so sad when they banned that because I've done it. Obviously, I'm doing my ecstasy. I was there, you know, in the 90s. Yeah, we used to love all that shit. The disco biscuits, the big thick white pills that were this big. Like, aren't we? You could actually back in the days when you could take like 1 or 2 pills and be high all night. Not like now. Oh, what's in it? Oh, it's ketamine again. Great. Okay, cool. So the fucking when methadone came out, man, that was like a breath of fresh air, man. And when the government took that away. And then they didn't just stop there, because like you say, you just change an atom, right? Or you just, hey, look at the chemical fucking compound now. It's slightly different, so it's legal again. Yay, drugs for everyone. What they did in Britain was they banned all research chemicals, man. Like
they did that in America too.
It's what the fuck, dude? Like,
yeah, there was already
if I'm
an
willing
analog
to
act.
take the risk, like, please. It's fucked up. Sorry, I'm genuinely angry about that. Sorry, I'll get back to listening.
I am too.
So anyway,
Okay.
back to your list. Back to your list. Sorry.
Next drug on the list. I spoke about this one before, NSI-189. Now, the reason why I have this one on the list is because it is an antidepressant. It is in a new class of antidepressants, well, new-ish, that increase hippocampal density. So when you're depressed, your hippocampus shrinks. That deals with not only mood stabilization, but also like working memory. These drugs fill that hippocampus back up, your memory gets better, your mood gets better. I personally took a drug like this for about the past 6 months, and it has helped me immensely. Like, of all the antidepressants that I've been on, this one is special. And this class of drug is special. Now, I say this because how many professional players do you know that suffer from some sort of depression?
It's actually a worryingly disproportionately high amount, and I would say that about all people in esports in general. I've encountered a lot of the depressive personalities and people who are suffering with depression, and obviously don't want to make it public because of the stigma. So.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing. Depression makes your brain worse. There is cognitive impairment that comes with depression. So you see these high-functioning players who are already nearly at the top of whatever esport they're in while being depressed. If you could fix that, suddenly they have more motivation to play, they can remember strategies better, they're just better all around. So one of these drugs would make them better. So that's why it's on the list.
Okay, cool.
This isn't a whole group of drugs. NSI-189 is one of them, but I can think of like 5 that are on the market right now.
Okay.
Okay, next on the list, testosterone.
Absolutely, right?
Think of possibly a Counter-Strike player, probably like a short guy who had kind of a high-pitched voice on an American team, not going to name names, but suddenly grows like a beard, bulks up a little bit, and then his team is amazing? I don't know.
You're saying that, not me. I have to go to events with these guys.
Just throwing that out there.
Can you? So what? Was there really a distinctive change in the guy's voice? Like, did that really happen?
There definitely was. Come on, now.
Really?
Yeah, you can go back and watch like old interviews, and it says like, "Hey, what's up, but?" It's just strange changes.
Okay, but couldn't it have been a natural change?
Sure. Okay, so
Okay.
there isn't a lot of data saying that this specifically would help with cognitive enhancement, but similar to the last drug that I mentioned, you could see how a person maybe in a best of 5 series, they're a skinny little dude like is common in esports, they lose a game. Esports is all that they have in their life. And they lose. Now, they have the opportunity to continue playing and possibly win, but their morale is crushed. Like, the thing that they are good at, they just failed at. Now, say they get some sort of, replacement of their hormones to help them out a little bit. They start lifting weights. They possibly get a girlfriend. They become more successful physically as a person. When they get into that situation, maybe it doesn't hurt as bad. Just a theory.
Yeah, just a theory, and one that's definitely conducive with my experiences and understanding. I've talked about this a lot, actually. There's a lot of players on steroids, and they're not doing it to get better at the game. They're doing it to get better at life. A lot of these guys have been called overweight, fat fucking losers, nerds, rejects. And what's fucked up actually is, okay, so let's say, Sam, is it okay for me to use Pimp as an example?
Yeah.
Because he didn't take steroids. He went on a fucking dangerous crash diet. Okay, but like I'm gonna use Pimp as an example, right? And I hopefully Pimp won't mind, because we can all see he's lost weight. Now, Pimp was a guy who fucking loved Counter-Strike, right? And he dedicated all of his time to Counter-Strike. And unfortunately, with that comes a sedentary lifestyle. 12 hours sat at a PC every day. In between practice sessions, you eat food that's unhealthy for you. You don't go out. You don't talk to people. You focus on the game. Now, it's interesting because he is dedicating his life to the esports ideal. And you would think everybody in esports would be a bit more like, okay, well, you know, that's sort of what comes with sitting at your PC for all of that time every day. It's not like being an athlete in the traditional sense where you run around for 12 hours so you would lose weight. If you do 12 hours esports training, you're pretty much going to gain weight. You have to work really hard to not have that happen to you. So, what do the esports community do to pimp? Ha ha! Look at the fat Harry Potter looking motherfucker. Ha 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 ha! Right? That's what the esports community does to the people who care the most about fucking esports. They treat them like shit. And I'm not saying fat shaming is wrong, but in esports, man, like...
I'm not saying fat shame it's wrong.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm overweight. I need to lose some fucking weight. I need to get my ass into the gym and work out more.
So you're saying you want Counter-Strike players to take roids and crash diets?
What I'm fucking saying is, motherfucker, right? Don't put words in my mouth. What I'm saying is, that guy is making a sacrifice for the fucking sport and the good of the game, right? The community that should at least understand that and be sympathetic to it are the worst. They're the people making him go on the fucking crash diet. They're the people making him feel terrible. Every time JW comes on stream, heh, look at the pig. Like, what is this? Like, what the fuck is this? You know, it's no wonder we got a bunch of insecure guys. The one community, the one group that should offer you some fucking support and some solace. Like, look, man, it's only temporary. Fuck, you're only 20. It's not like trying to lose weight now, like when you're in your fucking 30s. Trust me, that shit is hard. When you're fucking 20, it's like, okay, I'm overweight. Guess I'm going to lose that weight. And you can, and you do. So, back to Thomas's point, there's a bunch of people who absolutely feel the requirement and the pressure to become more successful at life. Because everyone's telling you, oh, you're fat, you're ugly every day. Fat, ugly, you'll never get a girlfriend. Fat, ugly, you'll never fuck anyone. You're going to be a virgin. Fat, ugly, loser. And they take a shortcut because to be good at esports and to be good at life, the two aren't necessarily conducive. To find that balance is very eluding.
Mm-hmm. A little ego never hurt anyone.
So back to testosterone.
That's all I have. I don't actually have any data. I looked for it, couldn't find any, but we can make assumptions.
Sorry, I feel like I stole the thunder for the testosterone point, but I totally agree with what you're saying. Like, testosterone would need to be a banned substance. There's definitely players out there that have done either testosterone directly. Fuck, I know an esports competitor, right, that took so many steroids. I don't think he's competing now. He took so many steroids, his testicles shrank and became hard, like, he described it. Yeah, he described it to me. He said it was like the pit you get in a peach. Nice. And it was so hard, he had to take another supplement called Test to get his balls even back vaguely normal. And this is why, like, all the fucking classic juicers, like, you know, Lance Armstrong, it's not a coincidence they're all getting testicular cancer, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Okay, well... Oh, I actually had a point and then I lost it, but that's fine. Yeah. We'll just move on to the next substance. Okay, actually, I remembered my point. So the thing with testosterone is you could see application outside the sport that is, like, more concrete and provable than, say, adderall's use in the sport. So that's why I would say that it would be bannable. That, like, you can actually point to something and say that is helpful, which you really can't with the other things. Okay, so the last drug on the list I have is nicotine. So this was done by the Department of Psychology at the University of British Columbia. So the same test, this is also in a mice study. So see the light, poke your nose, and get a little bit of fruit or whatever. In this one, they had the mice choose a difficulty, and then it would be either a 0.2 second light or a 1 second light. So 1 second would be the easy difficulty here. When they gave these mice nicotine in the 0.2 second test, they were much more reliable in getting the test correct. So they were able to see the light, poke their nose in at a much higher accuracy rate than before. Now, something interesting about this test is that they had a group of mice that they called the lazy mice. They were the slackers. Right. And they either didn't want to do the test at all, like they trained it how to do the test, they put it in there, and it's like, no, I'll just sit here, it's fine. Or they always choose the easy test and do that one, even though it gives less of a fruity reward. When they gave it nicotine, it was even more exaggerated. So you take a lazy mouse that would only sometimes take the hard test, and then it would always do the easy test. Right. I don't really have anything to say about that besides that it's interesting. But yeah, nicotine, it showed an increase in the ability of the mice to react to that fast test. So a faster reaction time.
So it seems to me that basically what you're saying is if we were to do an actual performance-enhancing drug list of chemicals that are proven demonstrably to improve performance on things that would pertain directly to esports, we'd end up banning perhaps the most commonly consumed chemicals around esports tournaments, perhaps with the exception of the nootropics.
Right on the nose. Like, that's the point. A lot of the best drugs that you can take for performance enhancing already are taken by everyone. Already available, already out there.
Well, look, man, I love you for bringing this to us. And as I said, you will always be our go-to drug guy.
I have one more small point.
Please.
Okay, so the wording of ESL and their drug policy on marijuana, it states that you can enjoy marijuana all you want except specifically in the tournament. That means that they're going to be testing for THC itself instead of the THC metabolites. So the metabolites stay around for like a month, THC stays around for a few hours. Depending on what sensitivity they choose, you could probably still smoke pot at the events and be fine.
Interesting.
So in Washington State, they have a legal limit of 5 nanograms per milliliter of blood for the active THC. If it's somewhere around that, most people who smoke weed will not go over that limit. Like, one joint will not get you over that limit for most people. Now, the counter to that is some people who smoke all the time, who have massive tolerances and can go through an ounce of weed during a week, they will be over that limit most of the time. Like, they will come in, last smoked like 3 days before the event, and if they're tested, they will possibly peg that limit. So that's a problem. They need to be much more specific about the limits that they have on that test, or else they're going to get sued. Like, if I tested positive on that test, I'd really consider suing them.
Interesting. Of course, hopefully we don't have to worry about that, Thomas, because...
Yeah, I'm sure no one will test positive. It's fine.
Well, no, but I also meant I hope you're not going to turn up and compete. that was the point. But again, both are good points. Look, anyway, we have to start wrapping up the show. But Thomas,
definitely, I'm done. Next time, when someone gets popped for like some random drug on the test, I'll reappear. But for now, I'll go back into the closet.
Hey, no, listen. Whenever even a drug thing pops into my head, and the way this show's been going, it's probably only a matter of time before I start turning up with a belt wrapped around my arm, dude.
So you're messaging for the hookups.
Yeah. So next time it happens, you're going to be on anything relating to drugs. If I just want to have a change of pace, because the way I see the show going, I want it to be more Joe Rogan than fucking esports, you dig? So we're going to get you on any drug shit. You're always our go-to guy. And also, if you're ever in the UK, I'm going to take you to a spot where we get the very best Welsh magic mushrooms, which are renowned throughout Europe for being some of the strongest and you know, most beautiful. So
that's
you
where
will
the
enjoy
money going to. It's flying Thomas over.
So anyway, thanks for calling in and giving us your list of top 5. It's a great way to close out the show. You look after yourself, brother.
Bye-bye.
Thomas again, man. Fuck, man. Why can't we have him on every week, Sam? Is there a rule?
Maybe we can.
Should we just do that?
Yeah, we could. Fuck.
I don't know, man. Like,
make a new segment of the show.
I don't know what Twitch rules are, right? So I'm going to tell a story. I wanted to tell a story.
Drugs. I just don't think you can do drugs.
Too late. So, look, man. When I was, this is a long time ago. I used to know a guy who was in the Chelsea Headhunters, the football hooligan group. And, like, these weren't always my thing, but he used to get some pretty great fucking downers, man. Like, some real good downers, you know? And he grew up in a time when downers were all the rage. Like, I think Lemmy from Motorhead used to call them Black Bombers. And he used to have a hookup, and he used to bring these fucking blue pills. And, you know, people could take them if you'd been up all night, you know, fucking doing pills or whatever, ecstasy, coke, whatever, and you needed to just come the fuck down, you know, like, rather than do, like, just so people who've never done it, like, so you know, again, Trash Talk does not advocate the use of drugs. Twitch does not advocate the use of drugs. Amazon does not advocate the use of drugs. It does advocate attack drones killing children, but it doesn't advocate the use of drugs.
And tax avoidance.
Absolutely. But these are demonstrable facts. Basically, what happens is when you're doing a drug like cocaine, for example, it's like, yeah, the first peak is like, yeah, and then you do it and you start coming down. You think, I'll do another line. You go, yeah, and you get a little bit higher up before, and you go, oh, better do another line. And you go, yeah. And then you sort of on a level before, and then you do it again, and you go, yeah, oh, on where you are before. And then every time you do it, you just go, yeah. And you just you pull out, yeah. All you're doing at this point is avoiding the fucking horrific come down. And when you come down, it's fucking savage, man. It's fucking brutal. Now, if you have, they used to call them jellies and shit in Scotland, you know, like, I don't know if you call them that in Wales, because I said I'm not a big downer guy. Like, I'll just embrace the come down. Like, what's that? I'm gonna wish I was dead and actually believe I'm going to die all day the next day. Fine, sign me up for that. Please God, please God, please God. Don't even believe in you, God. Don't even believe in you, but don't let me die. Like, I'll do that in a bed for 12 hours, sweating my tits off. Yeah, I'll do that, no problem. So, you know, drugs. It's good. It's good and it's bad. But anyway. This guy that I used to know in the Chelsea Headhunters, ex-football hooligan, retired, became a fucking drug dealer. He used to give these blue pills, and they were the perfect fucking downers, man, if you were ever in a bad place. And anyone who's really done thumping MDMA will know this. This is when you know you're in the bad place. The time you have to strip off naked and stare at yourself in the mirror. And if you ever break eye contact with yourself, you will die. You're in a bad... That's happened to me so many times. That's when you wish my friend, who I won't name, could give you one of these blue pills. Anyway. So, we didn't even know what the fucking blue pills were, man. Like, we didn't know for ages. And then one day, we all got really fucked up. We got drunk as fuck, man. And he said he was getting them from a... This is savage, man. He was getting them from a nearby veterinarian service. And what they were the muscle relaxants or some shit they would give to the chickens for laying eggs. You know, the battery farm chickens. That's what he said. I mean, I got no idea if this was true. But the following part it's got to be true. It's the only thing that makes sense. So, we're all out one night. And this guy's huge, by the way. I mean, this guy's like about 22 stone, covered in tats on his face, tats on his head. Massive guy, stab wounds. You know, this guy's fucking, you know, an animal. And he could do, like, you know, 20 pints drinking, you know, fucking lines or whatever. No problem. Anyway, this one night, he's come and he's got the downers again. He's like, y'all want to do some downers? I'm like, nah, fuck that, man. Like, ain't my bag, baby. I think I was doing some Dexies at the time, along with my mate. Quaaludes, whatever was in fashion in the 70s. Some
whippets.
Yeah, a bit of whippet, right? And fucking this guy, he does his downers. We're all drinking. We're all getting fucking wrecked. And then the next thing, he's just in the corner and he is fucked. Like, I mean, he's in the fuck. He's pissed himself. And no, literally, but I mean, rivulets of piss. Like, not a little accidental drunken piss, just fucking pissed all over the chair. Pissed. Jeans soaked in piss, like all of his piss. Right? Just fucked. Soaked in piss. And he's there and he's got this thick trail of drool down one of his moobs, like just like, fucking wrecked. And we're like, what the fuck is happening to this guy? So we're trying to lift him, and like you say, the motherfucker's like somewhere between 22 and 30 stone. I don't even know how you weigh a guy when he gets that big. We're trying to lift him up. Can't get him anywhere. We're like, fuck it, we're just gonna have to call an ambulance. This motherfucker's out, like. And everyone's like, you can't call a fucking emergency fucking team here, because if you do, fucking we're all packing. I'm like, look, it's ambulances, guys. Ambulances. No ambulance person is ever going to judge you. And that's a good rule to live by the way. A paramedic doesn't care if you did cocaine. Paramedic doesn't care if you're having a drug overdose. Just tell them what you've taken. It's fine. They're going to save your life. No stigma. So anyway, we call the fucking paramedics and they fucking go out.
He's pissed himself. Help me.
Yeah. Right. And anyway, I bumped into him like a few days later, fucking out of the hospital. Like, what the fuck happened to you, man? Like, some downers really got on top of you. And he was like, oh, yeah, fuck. Thing was, got a bit of a mix up with my vet vet hookup, it was. And, yeah, it was fucking apparently what they give to fucking big mammals in the zoo, like gorilla tranquilizers or something. So this massive 30-stone ex-football hooligan cunt took like gorilla tranquilizers or something. Fucking game over. And he was off running around at this party like fucking party favors. Like, dodged a fucking bullet there, like, because I was half this cunt's size. I'd have shot myself to fucking death.
Just died of full ring sting.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
My intestines are falling out of me.
Unfucking believable. So, we haven't kept in touch since my university days, but I miss him. Great guy. He did a lot of cool things. That's just one story. Anyway, we should probably kill the show, man. You got to go and do another one anyway, haven't you? You're up all night, man.
Yeah, I got to do the by the numbers LOL edition.
Yeah, so, been pretty good.
Have a look.
I do like the way Trash Talk's been going lately. I want to stress that, man.
Yeah, it's been good. I like how it's changed. It's not just Mongs calling in about esports anymore.
Yeah, there is that. I mean, I didn't mind it when it was those guys, I've already said the word Mong once in this episode. I'm don't want to go Ricky Gervais on it.
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's been a good episode, and just lately, all the episodes have been good, and we're gonna do 2 of these a week.
Yeah.
Can we sustain the quality, Sam? That's the real question.
I don't think so, mate. After that Cool Runnings video, we're gonna have to think of someone else to beat it. Well, next week's gonna be good, because we're gonna go to Cologne and we're gonna film some shit. But then the week after that's gonna be a struggle. You're gonna have to think of someone amazing.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, there'll always be something, and this is the thing. Look, though, as I said, the way I see this show going is we make it a cross between Joe Rogan and Howard Stern. And I think I got enough dirt on everyone who works at Twitch that they're just going to let it go past. I think if we talk about esports for like 5 minutes every day or something, every show, we can get away with it. So we can get away with it. I think we'll be all right. The people will speak. Anyway.
Right, another thing to mention before we go is I have my trade link. So I'm going to post it in the chat now. I'll get Richard to tweet it. Everyone said, right, if you want to take part, send the skins in. I'll note down what everyone sent. I'll bet everything on NiP before we lose. So if you don't want to lose these skins, number one, you're not going to because the spell is in place. But number two, don't send them. Don't send me like $1,000 worth of skins unless you're just some fucking Arabian prince. Right? But we're going to all in on NiP every single game. So even if we win the first 4 and they get to the final, we're still all in. So
all in. Always all in.
All in every time, so here's the link.
That's the whole point of the magic.
So
There's
send it
Sam's
there.
trade link, right? Send it, spam it around to your friends. Just to say as well, look, there's a lot of people who have messaged me and said like, oh, I wanted to support this fucking show and we didn't get to do it, and no, the Patreon people, all right?
Oh, hang on, I'm private. Give me a sec. All right, I'll fix that.
Yeah, sort that out. The Patreon people, they're the people that are able to dig deep. But I had people messaging me saying, I feel so bad. Like, I got a family. I got like 3 daughters. Like, dude, right? Don't give me a fucking penny of your money. Just raise your kids, right? For fuck's sake, you know what I mean?
Yeah, when we made this, we purposely made it so that nobody gets shut off.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, I don't like if you support the show and you watch the show, you're contributing. Like, I don't give a fuck about how little you think you're contributing. The Patreon people, yeah, they're going above and beyond. They're going to get VODs earlier. They're going to get special content that you guys may never see. But the main body of the content, all of this work, it's always going to go out. They're taking up the slack for everyone. That's how I think about us, you know? We are a mini community. I don't give a fuck about all these other assholes. The people outside that want to ruin this shit. The people outside that are like, you can't post that on Reddit, man. Fuck them. We'll grow this. This is good. I enjoy doing this show. I used to hate every other fucking show I did. I now enjoy doing trash talk. Like, I rushed back off a fucking train. I was down in London. I'm setting up a meeting with a top fucking sports agent who represents Premier League footballers, who is interested in representing individual Counter-Strike stars for the first time in the history of the fucking game. I'm trying to break down the fucking, barriers and actually do something before I get the fuck out of this business. But this show, this is something that we can all fucking enjoy. It's a safe space for me, right? To quote that Reddit social justice warrior bullshit. We can all enjoy this. Doesn't matter whether you're paying or whether you're not. Everyone's going to get to see it, different levels. The people who make it possible, obviously, you are blessed and you shall be rewarded. But the people who can't afford it, don't worry, man. There's always a place for you at this fucking table. I'm not like the rest of the assholes. So, that said, we'll be back next week, and in September we will be doing it twice a week, probably. So we'll move the show. We'll move one show to Monday, do the other Thursday.
And just to clear up as well, people think we have got the money already. We haven't got any Patreon money yet. We get paid every first of the month. The Patreon money comes. So that's why we're starting everything on the first. Just so people don't think we're taking the money and then having 3 weeks off. We haven't got fuck all yet. So calm it down, mate.
That's what it's all about, right? So, what we're going to do is we're going to end the show.
How about, before we end, do you want to just run Cool Run-Ins as well at the end first?
What do you mean?
Just run the video one more time, because there's like 800 more people in here now that didn't.
All right, fine. Yeah, so here's what we're going to do, right? For the end of the show, we're going to show you the Patreon video again. For those that missed it, we think it's a great video. We're going to put it up on the Patreon channel and eventually the YouTube channel. Everyone will get to see it. We put a lot of work into this to say thank you for all your support. Then we're going to end with a medley of Jamaica's national anthems. Till now, I want to thank all the people who called in. They obviously make the show. I want to thank all the people who fucking watch the show. I want to thank Twitch for letting us get away with breaking all of your fucking rules. Just because our show is so fucking good. I want to thank Thomas especially. And even that dude who took adderall. He took drugs to make this show good. I just fucking love you guys. I'm fucking overwhelmed by it all. Here's a bunch of Jamaican shit. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Richard, you done with eSports, man?
No, man. I have to finish trash talk.
Excuse me, please. Excuse me.
bobsled team. We eat jerk chicken and puff a lot of weed. Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. We have dreadlocks and we wear beanie caps. We say only man and never say chap. We can't afford asphalt, so we have dirt streets. Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. We live in huts with no air conditioning. Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. We believe in Jah and only drink ting. Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. Because the big sun, our skin really dark. We swim at night, get eaten by shark. Our water comes from wells or ocean for free. Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. We have no showers, so we bathe in crappy stream. Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. We smoke a lot of reef thanks to Bob Marley. If he was still alive, we'd be on his team. We can't play guitar, so we make drum beats. Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. We can't afford color, so we have baby. Either that or HIV. Black is for the people and yellow for the sun. Green is for the weed that we smoke for fun. We have guns to plant, it grows 10 feet high. Bob Marley's cancer made him die. We don't know why, but we get tattoos. We go to Olympics, we always lose. We practice with push cars, we don't have ice. Our nappy hair gives us ice. Push car, NASCAR driver, yeah, running down the ice right now in the bobsled. Penguins and cruising igloos, yeah. Bobsled team, 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 bobsled team.
I'll swim up to his castle, then Flounder will splash around to get